LEGO Technic. Build. Power. Engineer. LEGO Technic, from 1977 to present, is one of the longest running and most technically ambitious LEGO themes. Designed for builders who want to understand how things work, Technic sets feature working gears, pistons, differentials, pneumatics, and motorized functions. From supercars and cranes to excavators and motorbikes, Technic recreates real engineering principles at LEGO scale. The flagship Control Plus range adds Bluetooth app control to the most complex builds, making Technic the closest LEGO gets to real-world mechanical engineering. One of LEGO's oldest themes, running since 1977. Features working gears, axles, pneumatics, and differentials. Control Plus range adds Bluetooth app-controlled motors. Official licensed vehicles, Bugatti, Lamborghini, Land Rover, and more. Let's explore the collection. Set 850. Forklift truck. Released in 1977. This 210-piece set retails for €612, with used copies averaging €22. Classic 1977 Technic forklift with 210 pieces. A vintage mechanical build featuring working lift mechanics, an early showcase of LEGO's engineering ambitions. Set 851. Tractor. Released in 1977. This 318-piece set retails for €37, with used copies averaging €61. Classic 1977 Technic tractor with 318 pieces. One of the earliest Technic sets, showcasing real mechanical functions and gears in a detailed farm vehicle build. Set 852. Helicopter. Released in 1977. This 364-piece set retails for €405, with used copies averaging €56. Classic 1977 Technic helicopter with 364 pieces of mechanical detail. A vintage engineering marvel showcasing early LEGO's ambitious building techniques before minifigs existed. Set 853. Car chassis. Released in 1977. This 601-piece set retails for €121, with used copies averaging €133. Classic 1977 Technic Pioneer. Build a working car chassis with 601 pieces featuring real steering, suspension and drivetrain mechanics. The set that launched LEGO engineering. Set 854. Go-kart. Released in 1978. This 206-piece set retails for €324, with used copies averaging €27. Classic 1978 Technic go-kart with 206 pieces. Build a detailed racing kart with working mechanics, one of the earliest sets to showcase LEGO's technical building system. Set 855. Mobile crane. Released in 1978. This 512-piece set retails for €456, with used copies averaging €80. Classic 1978 Technic crane with 512 pieces, working mechanical functions, and real engineering detail. A vintage gem that sparked a generation's love for technical building. Set 856. Bulldozer. Released in 1979. This 372-piece set retails for €670, with used copies averaging €50. Classic 1979 Technic bulldozer with 372 pieces. A vintage mechanical marvel featuring working functions and authentic construction detail, a cornerstone of early Technic engineering. Set 857. Motorbike with sidecar. Released in 1979. This 409-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €94. Classic 1979 Technic motorcycle with sidecar. 409 pieces of mechanical detail bring this vintage two-wheeler to life, a rare early Technic gem for collectors. Set 858. Auto engines. Released in 1980. This 242-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €519. Build realistic working engines with 242 Technic pieces. This 1980 classic lets you explore mechanical principles through hands-on model construction. A true engineer's starter set. Set 948. Go-kart. Released in 1978. This 206-piece set retails for €171, with used copies averaging €48. Build a classic 1978 Technic go-kart with 206 pieces. This early mechanical marvel features working steering and engine details, a vintage racing gem for LEGO enthusiasts. Set 950. Forklift. Released in 1979. This 208-piece set retails for €203, with used copies averaging €26. Classic 1979 Technic forklift with 208 pieces. Build working mechanics with authentic lifting functions, a vintage engineering challenge that defined early Technic design. Set 951. Bulldozer. Released in 1979. This 372-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €69. Classic 1979 Technic bulldozer with 372 pieces of mechanical mastery. Build realistic tracks, blade, and working parts in this pioneering set that defined LEGO engineering. Set 952. Farm tractor. Released in 1978. This 316-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €90. Classic 1978 Technic farm tractor with 316 pieces of mechanical detail. Build authentic working functions in this vintage set that launched a generation of engineering-minded builders. Set 954. Skycopter. Released in 1978. This 365-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €43. Classic 1978 Technic helicopter with 365 pieces. Build a detailed skycopter with working mechanical functions, an early masterpiece of LEGO engineering ingenuity. Set 955. Mobile crane. Released in 1979. This 512-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €71. Classic 1979 Technic engineering marvel. Build a working 512-piece mobile crane with authentic mechanisms. A pioneering set that defined hands-on technical building for generations. Set 956. Auto chassis. Released in 1978. This 599-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €138. Explore 1978 Technic engineering with this 599-piece auto chassis. Build a detailed working car frame with functional steering, suspension and drivetrain, a groundbreaking classic. Set 1257. Tricycle. Released in 1999. This 24-piece set retails for €8, with used copies averaging €5. Compact 24-piece Technic tricycle with functional mechanics. A clever 1999 mini build showcasing gear and wheel engineering in a small, satisfying package. Set 1258. Propeller car. Released in 1999. This 29-piece set retails for €7, with used copies averaging €20. Zip into action with this 29-piece Technic propeller-powered car. A compact 1999 classic that teaches gear mechanics through a spinning propeller drive system. Set 1259. Motorbike. Released in 1999. This 28-piece set retails for €7, with used copies averaging €4. Compact 28-piece Technic motorbike packed with working details. A quick, satisfying build showcasing classic Technic engineering in miniature form. Perfect starter set for budding mechanics. Set 1260. Car. Released in 1999. This 26-piece set retails for €14, with used copies averaging €7. Compact 26-piece Technic car from 1999. Build a functional mini vehicle with classic mechanical details, perfect for young builders discovering Technic engineering. Set 1268. Bike Blaster. Released in 1999. This 28-piece set retails for €11, with used copies averaging €2. Compact 1999 Technic build featuring a sleek motorcycle with working mechanics. 28 pieces deliver authentic gear and chain details in a small but satisfying model. Set 1924. Motorcycle. Released in 1983. This 103-piece set retails for €78, with used copies averaging €21. Classic 1983 Technic motorcycle with 103 pieces. Build a detailed, working model with authentic mechanical features, a timeless engineering challenge for young builders. Set 1972. Go-kart. Released in 1985. This 98-piece set retails for €112, with used copies averaging €10. Build a classic 1985 Technic go-kart with 98 pieces. Features authentic steering and mechanical details that bring this racing machine to life. No driver needed, just pure engineering fun. Set 2129. Blastoff Dragster. Released in 1997. This 63-piece set retails for €20, with used copies averaging €6. Sleek 1997 Technic dragster with 63 pieces. Build a high-speed racing machine with authentic mechanical details and cool blastoff styling. No minifig needed, just pure speed. Set 2544. Motorcycle. Released in 1998. This 27-piece set retails for €7, with used copies averaging €5. Compact 1998 Technic motorcycle with 27 pieces. Build a sleek, functional bike with authentic mechanical details, perfect intro to Technic engineering in a small, satisfying package. Set 3000. Try Buggy. Released in 1999. This 24-piece set retails for €23, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 1999 Technic buggy with 3-wheel try design. 24 pieces build a nimble off-road racer with classic Technic engineering in a tiny, buildable package. Set 3001. Propeller car. Released in 1999. This 29-piece set retails for €12, with used copies averaging €2. Compact 29-piece Technic propeller car from 1999. Build a quirky wind-powered vehicle with functional propeller mechanics. A fun, quick build introducing core Technic concepts. Set 3003. Bike. Released in 1999. This 28-piece set retails for €23, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 1999 Technic Classic. Build a sleek 28-piece bike with working mechanics. Small but mighty, perfect intro to Technic engineering for young builders. Set 3005. Piston car. Released in 1999. This 26-piece set retails for €32, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 26-piece Technic car featuring working piston mechanics. A clever 1999 introduction to gear and engine concepts for young builders. Set 3054. Motorcycle. Released in 1998. This 30-piece set retails for €12, with used copies averaging €5. Compact 1998 Technic motorcycle with 30 pieces. Build a sleek, functional bike with authentic mechanical details, perfect intro to Technic engineering for young builders. Set 5206. Speed computer. Released in 2000. This 19-piece set retails for €59, with used copies averaging €18. Compact 19-piece Technic kit that builds a functional speed computer. Perfect intro to gear mechanics and measurement concepts for young engineers. Set 5218. Pneumatic pack. Released in 2000. This 147-piece set retails for €112, with used copies averaging €144. Power up your Technic builds with 147 pneumatic components. This 2000 expansion pack adds air-powered cylinders, tubes and valves to bring realistic motion to your creations. Set 5219. Silver wheel multi-pack. Released in 2000. This 28-piece set retails for €36, with used copies averaging €19. 28 silver Technic wheels ready to upgrade your builds. A versatile pack perfect for vehicles, robots, or any creation needing smooth, metallic rolling power. Set 5220. Vehicle styling pack. Released in 2000. This 221-piece set retails for €55, with used copies averaging €52. Customize your Technic builds with 221 versatile pieces. This 2000 styling pack offers wheels, panels and accessories to personalize vehicles with authentic mechanical detail. Set 5221. Motorized base pack. Released in 2000. This 55-piece set retails for €28, with used copies averaging €14. Power up your Technic builds. This 55-piece motorized base pack adds movement and function to your creations, turning static models into dynamic machines. Essential expansion for 2000-era builders. Set 5222. Vehicle chassis pack. Released in 2000. This 137-piece set retails for €39, with used copies averaging €37. Build and explore real vehicle mechanics with 137 Technic pieces. This chassis pack lets you create working suspensions, axles, and drivetrains, perfect for engineering-minded builders. Set 5223. Wind-up motor. Released in 2001. This 41-piece set retails for €12, with used copies averaging €10. Wind up this 41-piece Technic motor and watch gears spring to life. A mechanical marvel teaching real engineering concepts through hands-on building. Set 8041. Race truck. Released in 2010. This 608-piece set retails for €91, with used copies averaging €113. Mighty 608-piece Technic race truck with working steering, realistic suspension, and a powerful engine. Build and race this detailed beast on and off the track. Set 8043. Motorized excavator. Released in 2010. This 1,123-piece set retails for €487, with used copies averaging €243. Massive 1,123-piece motorized excavator with power functions, motor driving real working tracks, boom, and bucket. Fully functional pneumatic controls bring authentic construction action to life. Set 8045. Mini telehandler. Released in 2010. This 117-piece set retails for €20, with used copies averaging €6. Compact 117-piece Technic telehandler with working boom arm and realistic lifting mechanism. A perfect mini build showcasing engineering fundamentals in a small but functional package. Set 8046. Helicopter. Released in 2010. This 152-piece set retails for €27, with used copies averaging €17. Compact 152-piece Technic helicopter with working rotor mechanics. Build and explore real engineering functions in this sleek, action-ready aircraft model. Set 8047. Compact excavator. Released in 2010. This 252-piece set retails for €39, with used copies averaging €24. Compact Technic excavator with 252 pieces, featuring a working boom arm, rotating cab, and realistic digging action, perfect for budding engineers. Set 8048. Buggy. Released in 2010. This 314-piece set retails for €73, with used copies averaging €14. Race across rough terrain in this 314-piece Technic buggy featuring rugged suspension, functional steering, and robust off-road design. Pure mechanical thrill with zero minifigs needed. Set 8049. Tractor with log loader. Released in 2010. This 525-piece set retails for €120, with used copies averaging €55. Powerful Technic tractor with working log loader arm, functional hydraulics, and realistic gears. 525 pieces of authentic farm machinery action, no minifigs needed. Set 8051. Motorbike. Released in 2010. This 467-piece set retails for €136, with used copies averaging €32. Build a detailed 467-piece Technic motorbike with working steering, suspension, and realistic engine mechanics. A challenging 2010 model for serious builders. Set 8052. Container truck. Released in 2010. This 686-piece set retails for €211, with used copies averaging €101. Haul massive loads with this 686-piece Technic container truck featuring working steering, opening hood, and a detachable cargo container with functional crane arm. Set 8053. Mobile crane. Released in 2010. This 1,289-piece set retails for €175, with used copies averaging €83. Massive 1,289-piece Technic crane with working pneumatics, telescoping boom, outriggers, and realistic steering. A mechanical marvel that builds and operates like the real thing. Set 8063. Tractor with trailer. Released in 2009. This 1,100-piece set retails for €158, with used copies averaging €87. Build a working farm tractor with steerable front axle, functioning hydraulics, and a tipping trailer. 1,100 Technic pieces deliver authentic agricultural engineering. Set 8065. Mini container truck. Released in 2011. This 119-piece set retails for €17, with used copies averaging €7. Compact Technic truck with detachable container, working steering, and realistic cab detail. 119 pieces of mechanical fun in a mini package. Set 8066. Off-roader. Released in 2011. This 141-piece set retails for €18, with used copies averaging €5. Compact Technic off-roader with 141 pieces, featuring working suspension, chunky tires, and functional steering. A solid entry-level build packed with real mechanical details. Set 8067. Mini mobile crane. Released in 2011. This 292-piece set retails for €80, with used copies averaging €20. Compact Technic crane with 292 pieces featuring working boom, outriggers, and realistic mechanical functions. Build and operate a fully functional mini mobile crane. Set 8068. Rescue helicopter. Released in 2011. This 408-piece set retails for €71, with used copies averaging €17. Technic rescue helicopter with 408 pieces, featuring working rotors, functional winch, and realistic mechanical details. Build and operate a detailed emergency aircraft with authentic engineering. Set 8069. Backhoe loader. Released in 2011. This 609-piece set retails for €117, with used copies averaging €43. Full function 609-piece Technic backhoe with working front loader, rear excavator arm, and steerable wheels. Real engineering mechanics packed into one versatile construction machine. Set 8070. Supercar. Released in 2011. This 1,281-piece set retails for €177, with used copies averaging €69. Sleek 1,281-piece Technic supercar with working steering, V8 engine, gearbox and aerodynamic bodywork. A complex 2011 flagship build for serious enthusiasts. Set 8071. Bucket truck. Released in 2011. This 593-piece set retails for €99, with used copies averaging €34. Technic bucket truck with 593 pieces, featuring a working aerial lift, steering, and realistic mechanical functions. Build and operate a full-sized utility vehicle. Set 8081. Extreme Cruiser. Released in 2011. This 590-piece set retails for €160, with used copies averaging €39. Rugged 4x4 off-roader with working suspension, steering, and drivetrain. 590 Technic pieces build a serious crawler ready to tackle any terrain. Set 8109. Flatbed truck. Released in 2011. This 1,115-piece set retails for €313, with used copies averaging €72. Massive 1,115-piece Technic flatbed truck with working steering, pneumatic crane, and detailed V8 engine. A complex, realistic build for serious enthusiasts. Set 8205. Bungee Blaster. Released in 1997. This 64-piece set retails for €26, with used copies averaging €5. Compact 1997 Technic set with 64 pieces featuring a working bungee launch mechanism. Build and fire this spring-powered blaster with real mechanical action. Set 8207. Dune Duster. Released in 1996. This 86-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €7. Classic 1996 Technic Dune Buggy with 86 pieces. Build a rugged off-road racer with working suspension and chunky wheels built for desert terrain. Set 8210. Nitro GTX Bike. Released in 1995. This 86-piece set retails for €42, with used copies averaging €5. Build a sleek 1995 Technic racing bike with 86 pieces. The Nitro GTX features working mechanics and authentic details that bring this high-speed motorcycle to life. Set 8213. Spy Runner. Released in 1998. This 98-piece set retails for €15, with used copies averaging €7. Classic 98 Technic Spy vehicle with 98 pieces. Sleek mechanized runner featuring working suspension and geared functions. Build and race this covert operatives machine. Set 8215. Gyrocopter. Released in 1997. This 108-piece set retails for €23, with used copies averaging €6. Classic 1997 Technic gyrocopter with 108 pieces. Build a functional rotary wing aircraft with authentic mechanical details and working rotor assembly. Set 8216. Turbo 1. Released in 1997. This 91-piece set retails for €27, with used copies averaging €8. Build a sleek 1997 Technic racer with 91 pieces. Turbo 1 delivers authentic mechanical details and classic LEGO engineering in a compact, high-speed design. Set 8219. Racer. Released in 1998. This 101-piece set retails for €52, with used copies averaging €9. Classic 1998 Technic racer with 101 pieces. Build a sleek, functional race car with authentic mechanical details and moving parts. Pure engineering fun in a compact set. Set 8222. VTOL. Released in 1997. This 141-piece set retails for €29, with used copies averaging €12. Build a 1997 Technic VTOL aircraft with 141 pieces. Features vertical takeoff mechanics and includes one minifig pilot. Classic 90s Technic engineering at its best. Set 8223. Hydrofoil 7. Released in 1996. This 124-piece set retails for €29, with used copies averaging €6. Classic 96 Technic hydrofoil with 124 pieces and 1 minifig. Build a sleek water skimming craft with functional foils that lift the hull above the waves. Set 8225. Road Rally V released in 1995. This 96-piece set retails for €50, with used copies averaging €11. Classic 95 Technic Racer with 96 pieces and 1 minifig. Build a sleek rally car with working steering and suspension. A compact, authentic introduction to Technic engineering. Set 8226. Mud Masher. Released in 1998. This 127-piece set retails for €20, with used copies averaging €6. Rugged 1998 Technic buggy built for off-road chaos. 127 pieces form a working suspension monster truck ready to conquer any terrain. Pure mechanical muscle, no minifig needed. Set 8229. Tread Trekker. Released in 1997. This 186-piece set retails for €47, with used copies averaging €12. Classic 97 Technic tracked vehicle with 186 pieces and 1 minifig. Rugged off-road crawler with working treads, perfect for young engineers learning real mechanical concepts. Set 8230. Coastal Cop Buggy. Released in 1996. This 175-piece set retails for €69, with used copies averaging €19. Patrol the shoreline in this 175-piece Technic beach buggy with working steering and suspension. Classic 96 Coastal Law Enforcement Action with 1 minifig officer included. Set 8232. Chopper Force. Released in 1997. This 280-piece set retails for €112, with used copies averaging €36. Build a powerful 1997 Technic chopper with 280 pieces and 1 minifig. Features working mechanics and authentic helicopter details for hands-on building action. Set 8235. Front End Loader. Released in 1995. This 165-piece set retails for €70, with used copies averaging €20. Classic 95 Technic loader with working bucket arm, 165 pieces and 1 minifig. Build real mechanical functions into this compact construction powerhouse. Set 8244. Convertibles. Released in 1996. This 275-piece set retails for €68, with used copies averaging €28. Build and transform 3 classic car styles with 275 Technic pieces. This 1996 set features working mechanisms and 1 minifig. Engineering meets automotive design. Set 8246. Hydro Racer. Released in 1999. This 46-piece set retails for €6, with used copies averaging €4. Sleek 1999 Technic hydroplane with working steering and suspension. 46 pieces of mechanical action packed into a fast, functional racing boat. Build and race. Set 8247. Road Rebel. Released in 1999. This 44-piece set retails for €10, with used copies averaging €23. Compact 44-piece Technic racer with sleek Rebel styling. Build a bold, low-slung speed machine packed with mechanical detail, big thrills in a small package. Set 8248. Forklift. Released in 1998. This 231-piece set retails for €69, with used copies averaging €32. Classic 98 Technic forklift with 231 pieces, working lift mechanism and 1 minifig. Authentic industrial detail meets hands-on engineering fun. Set 8250. Search Sub. Released in 1997. This 383-piece set retails for €173, with used copies averaging €104. Dive deep with this 383-piece Technic submarine. Features working mechanisms, a diver minifig, and authentic underwater exploration details. Classic 90s engineering at its best. Set 8251. Sonic Cycle. Released in 1999. This 89-piece set retails for €23, with used copies averaging €12. Reverend up with this 89-piece Technic motorcycle featuring working suspension and authentic mechanical details. A sleek, buildable classic from 1999's Technic lineup. Set 8252. Beach Buster. Released in 1999. This 183-piece set retails for €40, with used copies averaging €10. Rugged 1999 Technic beach buggy with 183 pieces and working suspension. Build a tough off-road racer ready to conquer sand and surf with real mechanical functions. Set 8253. Fire helicopter. Released in 1999. This 210-piece set retails for €51, with used copies averaging €31. Classic 99 Technic fire helicopter with 210 pieces, working rotors and rescue mechanisms. Includes one minifig pilot. A functional build blending firefighting action with engineering detail. Set 8255. Rescue bike. Released in 1999. This 202-piece set retails for €86, with used copies averaging €42. Classic 1999 Technic rescue bike with 202 pieces and 2 figures. Features working suspension and realistic emergency detailing. Build and ride into action. Set 8256. Go-kart. Released in 2009. This 144-piece set retails for €52, with used copies averaging €11. Build a detailed 144-piece Technic go-kart with working steering and authentic racing design. A hands-on mechanical build perfect for budding engineers aged 8+. Set 8258. Crane truck. Released in 2009. This 1,877-piece set retails for €380, with used copies averaging €180. Massive 1,877-piece Technic crane truck with working pneumatic crane arm, outriggers, and detailed V8 engine. A 2009 flagship set packed with authentic engineering. Set 8259. Mini bulldozer. Released in 2009. This 165-piece set retails for €24, with used copies averaging €6. Compact 165-piece Technic bulldozer with working blade and realistic mechanical details. Build and operate this mini powerhouse with authentic engineering functions in a small package. Set 8260. Tractor. Released in 2009. This 104-piece set retails for €23, with used copies averaging €7. Build a working Technic tractor with 104 pieces. Features realistic mechanics, chunky wheels, and functional details, perfect intro to Technic engineering for young builders. Set 8261. Rally truck. Released in 2009. This 198-piece set retails for €33, with used copies averaging €8. Rugged 198-piece Technic rally truck with working steering and suspension. Built for off-road action with authentic details that bring competitive racing to life. Set 8262. Quad bike. Released in 2009. This 308-piece set retails for €55, with used copies averaging €16. Rugged 308-piece Technic quad bike with working steering, suspension, and detailed engine. A satisfying off-road build packed with realistic mechanical functions. Set 8263. Snow groomer. Released in 2009. This 590-piece set retails for €191, with used copies averaging €99. Powerful 590-piece Technic snow groomer with working blade, rotating auger, and realistic treads. Build the ultimate winter mountain machine with authentic mechanical functions. Set 8264. Hauler. Released in 2009. This 575-piece set retails for €177, with used copies averaging €50. Massive 575-piece Technic truck with working steering, realistic suspension, and detailed engine. A mechanical marvel built for serious builders who love heavy-duty vehicles. Set 8265. Front loader. Released in 2009. This 1,061-piece set retails for €175, with used copies averaging €156. Massive 1,061-piece Technic front loader with working hydraulics, articulated steering, and a functional lifting bucket, a detailed engineering marvel for serious builders. Set 8270. Rough terrain crane. Released in 2007. This 106-piece set retails for €69, with used copies averaging €10. Compact 106-piece Technic crane with rugged all-terrain wheels and working boom mechanism. Small but packed with authentic engineering detail for real off-road lifting action. Set 8271. Wool loader. Released in 2007. This 200-piece set retails for €40, with used copies averaging €9. Compact Technic wool loader with functional scoop bucket and realistic steering. 200 pieces of mechanical action in a classic construction machine build. Set 8272. Snowmobile. Released in 2007. This 331-piece set retails for €80, with used copies averaging €22. Tackle Arctic terrain with this 331-piece Technic snowmobile. Features working suspension, realistic track system, and detailed engine, a mechanical marvel built for icy adventures. Set 8273. Off-road truck. Released in 2007. This 805-piece set retails for €78, with used copies averaging €44. Rugged 805-piece Technic off-road beast with working suspension, steering, and drivetrain. Built for rough terrain with authentic mechanical details and real 4x4 functionality. Set 8274. Combine harvester. Released in 2007. This 1025-piece set retails for €351, with used copies averaging €124. Massive 1025-piece Technic combine harvester with working reel, threshing drum, grain tank, and realistic steering. A detailed agricultural engineering marvel from 2007. Set 8275. Motorized bulldozer. Released in 2007. This 1,384-piece set retails for €361, with used copies averaging €161. Massive 1,384-piece Technic bulldozer with motorized tracks, working blade, and realistic ripper. Full RC capability brings authentic construction power to life. Set 8277. Giant model set. Released in 1997. This 546-piece set retails for €111, with used copies averaging €71. Build epic Technic machines with 546 pieces. This 1997 giant set delivers complex gear systems, motors and mechanisms, ultimate engineering playground for serious builders. Set 8279. 4WDX track. Released in 2000. This 449-piece set retails for €135, with used copies averaging €34. Build a rugged 4WD off-road beast with 449 Technic pieces. Features working suspension, realistic drivetrain, and all-terrain tracks built for serious adventuring. Year 2000 classic. Set 8280. Fire engine. Released in 1995. This 424-piece set retails for €124, with used copies averaging €35. Classic 95 Technic fire engine with 424 pieces, working functions and 2 minifigs. Features authentic rescue gear and mechanical details for a satisfying build. Set 8281. Mini tractor. Released in 2006. This 121-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €13. Compact 121-piece Technic tractor with working steering and functional mechanics. A detailed mini build that packs real engineering into a small, satisfying package. Set 8282. Quad bike. Released in 2006. This 200-piece set retails for €27, with used copies averaging €11. Rugged 200-piece Technic quad bike with working suspension and detailed engine. A compact off-road build packed with authentic mechanical features for ATV enthusiasts. Set 8283. Telehandler. Released in 2006. This 323-piece set retails for €72, with used copies averaging €43. Build a working telehandler with extendable boom arm, steering, and realistic lifting mechanics. 323 Technic pieces recreate this industrial machine in authentic detail. Set 8284. Dune buggy, tractor. Released in 2006. This 872-piece set retails for €105, with used copies averaging €64. 872-piece Technic 2-in-1 build a rugged dune buggy or powerful tractor. Features realistic steering, working suspension, and detailed mechanical functions. Set 8285. Tow truck. Released in 2006. This 1,877-piece set retails for €432, with used copies averaging €135. Massive 1,877-piece Technic beast featuring a fully functional tow mechanism, steering, and detailed cab. A 2006 engineering masterpiece built for serious builders. Set 8286. 3-in-1 car. Released in 1996. This 734-piece set retails for €173, with used copies averaging €66. Build 3 classic cars from 734 Technic pieces. This 1996 set transforms between sports car, hot rod and race car with working mechanics. Includes 2 minifigs. Set 8287. Motorbox. Released in 2006. This 93-piece set retails for €88, with used copies averaging €69. Power up your Technic builds. This 93-piece motor box houses a battery-powered motor to bring your creations to life with real motorized movement. Essential 2006 expansion pack. Set 8288. Crawler crane. Released in 2006. This 800-piece set retails for €336, with used copies averaging €83. Massive 800-piece Technic crawler crane with working tracks, extendable boom, and authentic lifting functions. A detailed engineering marvel from 2006. Set 8289. Fire truck. Released in 2006. This 1035-piece set retails for €137, with used copies averaging €66. Massive 1035-piece Technic fire truck with working pneumatic outriggers, extending ladder, pump controls, and realistic mechanical functions. A complex build for serious enthusiasts. Set 8290. Mini forklift. Released in 2008. This 89-piece set retails for €16, with used copies averaging €7. Compact 89-piece Technic forklift with working lift mechanism. Perfect entry-level build showcasing real mechanical function in a small but satisfying package. Set 8291. Dirt bike. Released in 2008. This 248-piece set retails for €61, with used copies averaging €34. Build a detailed 248-piece Technic dirt bike with working suspension, realistic chain drive, and authentic off-road design. No minifig needed, the bike speaks for itself. Set 8292. Cherry picker. Released in 2008. This 726-piece set retails for €304, with used copies averaging €37. Build a working cherry picker with 726 Technic pieces. Features realistic hydraulic lift, extendable boom, and motorized functions. A detailed engineering challenge from 2008. Set 8294. Excavator. Released in 2008. This 720-piece set retails for €122, with used copies averaging €49. Massive 720-piece Technic excavator with working pneumatic arm, rotating cab, and realistic digging action. A mechanical engineering masterpiece for serious builders. Set 8295. Telescopic handler. Released in 2008. This 1,182-piece set retails for €178, with used copies averaging €64. Massive 1,182-piece Technic beast featuring a fully functional telescopic boom arm, realistic hydraulics, and working steering. A detailed farm/construction machine with genuine mechanical complexity. Set 8296. Dune buggy. Released in 2008. This 199-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €10. Build a rugged 199-piece Technic dune buggy with working suspension and steering. This 2008 off-road beast delivers authentic mechanical detail in a compact, action-ready desert racer. Set 8297. Off-roader. Released in 2008. This 1,097-piece set retails for €200, with used copies averaging €77. Massive 1,097-piece Technic beast with working suspension, 4WD drivetrain, and realistic off-road details. A 2008 flagship model built for serious builders craving mechanical complexity. Set 8299. Search sub. Released in 1997. This 0-piece set retails for €184, with used copies averaging €48. Dive deep with this 1997 Technic submarine. Features working mechanical functions and includes one minifig crew member ready to explore the ocean depths. Set 8300. LEGO Technic Guys. Released in 2000. This 5-piece set retails for €60, with used copies averaging €25. Pair of posable LEGO Technic figures with snap-together builds. Mini yet detailed, these 5-piece characters bring personality to any Technic creation from 2000. Set 8408. Desert Ranger. Released in 1996. This 289-piece set retails for €69, with used copies averaging €35. Rugged 1996 Technic desert buggy with 289 pieces, featuring working suspension, gear-driven mechanics, and authentic off-road details. Built for serious builders craving real engineering challenge. Set 8412. Nighthawk. Released in 1995. This 286-piece set retails for €111, with used copies averaging €25. Sleek 1995 Technic aircraft with 286 pieces, working controls and realistic wing details. Build a powerful Nighthawk plane with authentic mechanical functions. Set 8414. Mountain Rambler. Released in 1997. This 244-piece set retails for €69, with used copies averaging €10. Rugged 1997 Technic Off-Roader with 244 pieces, working suspension, and detailed 4x4 mechanics. Build and explore the ultimate mountain terrain machine. Set 8415. Dump Truck. Released in 2005. This 284-piece set retails for €77, with used copies averaging €23. Mighty Technic Dump Truck with 284 pieces, working tipping bed, and realistic mechanical functions. A detailed 2005 classic for builders who love heavy machinery. Set 8416. Forklift. Released in 2005. This 729-piece set retails for €118, with used copies averaging €67. Build a working forklift with 729 Technic pieces. Features realistic lifting mechanism, steering, and authentic warehouse machinery details. A satisfying mechanical build for serious enthusiasts. Set 8417. Mag Wheelmaster. Released in 1998. This 315-piece set retails for €80, with used copies averaging €27. Build a powerful 1998 Technic Racer with 315 pieces featuring authentic mag wheels, working suspension, and detailed mechanics. A classic engineering challenge for serious builders. Set 8418. Mini Loader. Released in 2005. This 66-piece set retails for €23, with used copies averaging €5. Compact 66-piece Technic Mini Loader with functional bucket mechanics. Build a tough little construction machine with real working parts in this beginner-friendly 2005 set. Set 8419. Excavator. Released in 2005. This 286-piece set retails for €38, with used copies averaging €15. Powerful 286-piece Technic excavator with working arm, bucket, and rotating cab. Authentic mechanical functions bring real construction action to life. Set 8420. Street Bike. Released in 2005. This 506-piece set retails for €147, with used copies averaging €60. Build a detailed 506-piece Technic street bike with working suspension, realistic engine, and authentic gearing. A mechanical masterpiece capturing true motorcycle engineering in LEGO form. Set 8421. Mobile Crane. Released in 2005. This 1,884-piece set retails for €326, with used copies averaging €137. Massive 1,884-piece Technic crane with extending boom, outriggers, and full working functions. A 2005 flagship masterpiece that defined complex mechanical building. Set 8422. Circuit Shock Racer. Released in 1995. This 315-piece set retails for €100, with used copies averaging €29. Classic 1995 Technic Racer with 315 pieces, working suspension, and authentic race car mechanics. Build a sleek circuit speedster with real engineering detail. Set 8425. Black Falcon. Released in 1996. This 465-piece set retails for €164, with used copies averaging €59. Build a sleek 1996 Technic jet with 465 pieces, featuring working mechanisms and authentic aerodynamic design. A challenging build for aviation enthusiasts craving real engineering complexity. Set 8428. Red Hot Machine with CD-ROM. Released in 1998. This 472-piece set retails for €62, with used copies averaging €40. Build a powerful 472-piece Technic hot rod with working functions. Includes rare CD-ROM with digital building guides, a 1998 collector's gem blending physical and digital play. Set 8429. Helicopter. Released in 2002. This 147-piece set retails for €40, with used copies averaging €5. Build a functional Technic helicopter with 147 pieces. Features realistic rotor mechanics and moving parts. A classic 2002 model perfect for budding engineers aged 8+. Set 8430. Mag Wheelmaster. Released in 2002. This 318-piece set retails for €86, with used copies averaging €33. Build a powerful off-road racer with chunky mag wheels, working suspension, and rugged Technic mechanics. 318 pieces of functional engineering action. Set 8431. Pneumatic crane truck. Released in 2002. This 862-piece set retails for €81, with used copies averaging €50. Build a fully functional pneumatic crane truck with 862 Technic pieces. Real air-powered mechanisms extend, lift, and rotate the crane arm for authentic construction action. Set 8432. Concept car. Released in 1998. This 471-piece set retails for €64, with used copies averaging €36. Build a sleek 471-piece Technic concept car from 1998 featuring advanced mechanical functions. A classic set blending futuristic design with intricate engineering for hands-on builders. Set 8433. Cool movers. Released in 2004. This 215-piece set retails for €22, with used copies averaging €12. Build a working mechanical vehicle with 215 Technic pieces. Features real gear functions and moving parts for hands-on engineering fun. Classic 2004 Technic action. Set 8434. Aircraft. Released in 2004. This 445-piece set retails for €88, with used copies averaging €27. Build and fly a functional Technic aircraft with 445 pieces. Features working propeller, movable flaps and realistic cockpit details. A thrilling mechanical model for aviation fans. Set 8435. 4WD. Released in 2004. This 763-piece set retails for €138, with used copies averaging €68. Build a rugged 763-piece 4WD off-roader with working suspension, steering, and drivetrain. A detailed Technic masterpiece that captures real 4x4 mechanics. Set 8436. Truck. Released in 2004. This 1027-piece set retails for €183, with used copies averaging €69. Massive 1027-piece Technic truck with working suspension, steering, and detailed engine. A complex 2004 build showcasing realistic mechanics and engineering depth. Set 8437. Future car. Released in 1997. This 419-piece set retails for €69, with used copies averaging €29. Build a sleek 1997 Technic concept car with 419 pieces. Features working suspension, steering, and that classic futuristic design that defined late 90s Technic engineering. Set 8438. Pneumatic crane truck. Released in 2003. This 848-piece set retails for €324, with used copies averaging €97. Massive 848-piece Technic crane truck with real pneumatic functions, extend the arm, grip loads, and steer. A satisfying engineering challenge with genuine air-powered mechanics. Set 8439. Front-end loader. Released in 2004. This 582-piece set retails for €227, with used copies averaging €121. Powerful 582-piece Technic front-end loader with working hydraulic-style bucket arm, detailed cab, and realistic gear mechanisms. A satisfying build for construction vehicle fans. Set 8440. Formula Flash. Released in 1995. This 414-piece set retails for €169, with used copies averaging €48. Build a sleek 1995 F1 racer with 414 Technic pieces. Features working suspension, steering, and detailed engine, pure mechanical engineering in classic racing form. Set 8441. Forklift truck. Released in 2003. This 72-piece set retails for €10, with used copies averaging €3. Compact 72-piece Technic forklift with working lift mechanism. Build and operate a functional warehouse vehicle with authentic raising forks and sturdy frame. Set 8443. Pneumatic log loader. Released in 1996. This 327-piece set retails for €238, with used copies averaging €75. 327-piece Technic pneumatic log loader with real air-powered functions. Lift, grab, and move logs using working pneumatic cylinders, a classic 1996 mechanical marvel. Set 8444. Jet Wasp. Released in 1999. This 309-piece set retails for €102, with used copies averaging €19. Build a sleek 1999 Technic jet with Wasp-inspired design. 309 pieces deliver working mechanics and aerodynamic detail in this classic pneumatic/gear-driven aircraft model. Set 8445. Indy Storm. Released in 1999. This 446-piece set retails for €69, with used copies averaging €52. Race to victory with this 446-piece Technic Indy car. Features working suspension, detailed engine, and realistic steering, a buildable tribute to open-wheel racing at its finest. Set 8446. Crane Truck. Released in 1999. This 582-piece set retails for €94, with used copies averaging €61. Massive 582-piece Technic crane truck with working pneumatic boom, extendable outriggers, and realistic steering. A challenging 1999 classic built for serious builders. Set 8448. Super Street Sensation. Released in 1999. This 1,437-piece set retails for €548, with used copies averaging €140. Build a sleek 1999 Technic supercar with 1,437 pieces, featuring working suspension, gearbox, and detailed engine. A challenging, rewarding build for serious Technic fans. Set 8451. Dump Truck. Released in 2003. This 183-piece set retails for €32, with used copies averaging €16. Classic Technic dump truck with 183 pieces, featuring a working tilting bed and realistic mechanical functions. Perfect entry into gear-driven building for young engineers. Set 8453. Front End Loader. Released in 2003. This 214-piece set retails for €41, with used copies averaging €18. Compact 214-piece Technic front end loader with functional lifting bucket and authentic construction mechanics. Build and operate a real working machine in miniature form. Set 8454. Rescue Truck. Released in 2003. This 639-piece set retails for €124, with used copies averaging €40. Packed with 639 pieces, this 2003 Technic rescue truck delivers rugged mechanical detail, working functions, and realistic emergency vehicle design. No minifigs needed, just pure engineering. Set 8455. Backhoe. Released in 2003. This 704-piece set retails for €355, with used copies averaging €171. Massive 704-piece Technic backhoe with working pneumatic arm, extendable stabilizers, and realistic digging action. Build a fully functional construction machine with authentic detail. Set 8456. Fiber Optic Multiset. Released in 1996. This 404-piece set retails for €121, with used copies averaging €43. Illuminate your builds with 404 Technic pieces and dazzling fiber optic lighting. Create glowing, light-powered models in this rare 1996 set that brings futuristic luminescence to your creations. Set 8457. Power Puller. Released in 2000. This 979-piece set retails for €424, with used copies averaging €256. Massive 979-piece Technic beast with working pneumatics, heavy-duty drivetrain, and a minifig operator. A 2000 engineering marvel built for serious pulling power. Set 8458. Silver Champion. Released in 2000. This 1,431-piece set retails for €968, with used copies averaging €177. Build a detailed F1 racing car with 1,431 pieces featuring working suspension, steering, gearbox, and engine pistons. A complex 2000 Technic masterpiece for serious builders. Set 8459. Pneumatic front end loader. Released in 1997. This 591-piece set retails for €247, with used copies averaging €92. Classic 97 Technic Beast. 591 pieces build a powerful pneumatic front-end loader with real air-powered functions. Lift, tilt, and dump with authentic hydraulic-style action. No driver needed, just. Set 8460. Pneumatic crane truck. Released in 1995. This 850-piece set retails for €259, with used copies averaging €87. 850-piece Technic masterpiece featuring working pneumatic crane, realistic truck mechanics, and authentic hydraulic functions. A 1995 engineering marvel for serious builders. Set 8462. Tow truck. Released in 1998. This 774-piece set retails for €277, with used copies averaging €105. Classic 1998 Technic Beast. 774 pieces build a fully functional tow truck with working crane, outriggers and steering. Mechanical complexity at its finest. Set 8463. Forklift. Released in 2001. This 235-piece set retails for €69, with used copies averaging €19. Classic Technic forklift with 235 pieces, working lift mechanism and steering. Includes one minifig operator. Authentic industrial detail in a buildable, functional model. Set 8464. Pneumatic front-end loader. Released in 2001. This 591-piece set retails for €202, with used copies averaging €81. Mighty 591-piece Technic loader with real pneumatic power. Raise, tilt, and dump the front bucket using air-powered cylinders for authentic construction action. Set 8465. Extreme off-roader. Released in 2001. This 365-piece set retails for €126, with used copies averaging €35. Rugged 365-piece Technic Beast with working suspension, massive wheels, and real 4x4 mechanics. Built for the toughest terrain, this 2001 off-roader delivers authentic engineering in action. Set 8466. 4x4 off-roader. Released in 2001. This 1,102-piece set retails for €408, with used copies averaging €144. Massive 1,102-piece Technic 4x4 with working suspension, steering, and V8 engine. A 2001 engineering masterpiece built for serious off-road action. Set 8479. Barcode multiset. Released in 1997. This 1,280-piece set retails for €391, with used copies averaging €136. 1997 Technic Marvel with 1,280 pieces. Build a programmable barcode-controlled truck, forklift and crane. Revolutionary IR tech lets you automate functions via barcodes. Engineering at its finest. Set 8480. Space Shuttle. Released in 1996. This 1,368-piece set retails for €817, with used copies averaging €246. Iconic 1996 Technic masterpiece with 1,368 pieces. Features working motorized systems, deployable payload bay, and intricate mechanical details faithful to the real space shuttle. Set 8483. Cybermaster. Released in 1998. This 894-piece set retails for €371, with used copies averaging €103. Build and program a robotic Technic creation with 894 pieces. This 1998 classic features motorized functions and wireless PC control, a pioneering blend of LEGO engineering and early robotics. Set 8485. Control Center 2. Released in 1995. This 1,079-piece set retails for €663, with used copies averaging €238. Massive 1995 Technic hub with 1,079 pieces featuring motorized controls, pneumatics, and working mechanisms, the ultimate command station for complex Technic builds. Set 8808. F1 Racer. Released in 1994. This 94-piece set retails for €35, with used copies averaging €8. Classic 94 Technic F1 Racer with 94 pieces. Features working steering, sleek aerodynamic bodywork, and authentic racing details. A vintage gem for speed enthusiasts. Set 8810. Café Racer. Released in 1991. This 80-piece set retails for €37, with used copies averaging €5. Classic 1991 Technic motorcycle with authentic Café Racer styling. 80 pieces build a sleek, detailed bike with working suspension and realistic engine components. Set 8812. Helicopter. Released in 1994. This 147-piece set retails for €45, with used copies averaging €8. Classic 94 Technic helicopter with 147 pieces, working rotor mechanics, and authentic engineering detail. Build and explore real functions in this intermediate mechanical model. Set 8815. Speedway Bandit. Released in 1991. This 77-piece set retails for €38, with used copies averaging €7. Classic 1991 Technic racer with 77 pieces. Build a sleek, low-slung speedway car featuring working suspension and authentic racing details. Pure mechanical fun. Set 8816. Off-roader. Released in 1994. This 184-piece set retails for €41, with used copies averaging €15. Classic 1994 Technic Off-Road Beast with 184 pieces, working suspension, and rugged 4x4 mechanics. Build and drive through any terrain. Set 8818. Dune Buggy. Released in 1993. This 120-piece set retails for €45, with used copies averaging €6. Classic 1993 Technic Off-Roader with 120 pieces. Build a rugged dune buggy with working suspension and steering, pure mechanical fun without a minifig in sight. Set 8820. Mountain Rambler. Released in 1991. This 139-piece set retails for €50, with used copies averaging €8. Rugged 1991 Technic Off-Roader with 139 pieces, featuring working suspension and four-wheel drive. Build a tough mountain crawler ready to tackle any terrain. Set 8824. Hovercraft. Released in 1993. This 194-piece set retails for €45, with used copies averaging €14. Classic 1993 Technic Hovercraft with 194 pieces. Build a working mechanical model featuring authentic hovercraft design with functional Technic details. No minifigs, pure engineering fun. Set 8825. Night Chopper. Released in 1990. This 116-piece set retails for €25, with used copies averaging €5. Build a sleek 1990 Technic helicopter with 116 pieces. Features working rotor mechanics and authentic chopper design, pure mechanical building fun with zero minifigs needed. Set 8826. ATX Sport Cycle. Released in 1992. This 95-piece set retails for €33, with used copies averaging €4. Classic 1992 Technic Off-Road Bike with 95 pieces. Build a rugged ATX Sport Cycle with detailed suspension and mechanical components. Pure engineering fun. Set 8828. Front End Loader. Released in 1992. This 175-piece set retails for €52, with used copies averaging €23. Classic 1992 Technic Front End Loader with 175 pieces. Features working hydraulic bucket mechanics and rugged construction detail. A timeless builder's challenge. Set 8829. Dune Blaster. Released in 1994. This 278-piece set retails for €60, with used copies averaging €22. Classic 94 Technic Dune Buggy with 278 pieces. Features working suspension, rugged off-road design, and authentic mechanical details. Built for serious builders craving real engineering. Set 8830. Rally Six-Wheeler. Released in 1990. This 171-piece set retails for €86, with used copies averaging €16. Classic 1990 Technic Rally Racer with 6 wheels, 171 pieces and 1 minifig. Build a rugged off-road beast with working suspension and authentic racing details. Set 8832. Roadster. Released in 1988. This 86-piece set retails for €13, with used copies averaging €6. Classic 1988 Technic Roadster with 86 pieces. Build a sleek open-top sports car with working steering and authentic mechanical details. Pure driving fun in miniature form. Set 8835. Forklift. Released in 1989. This 240-piece set retails for €100, with used copies averaging €17. Classic 1989 Technic Forklift with 240 pieces, working lift mechanism, and authentic industrial detail. A timeless build showcasing early Technic engineering at its finest. Set 8836. Sky Ranger. Released in 1992. This 273-piece set retails for €93, with used copies averaging €23. Classic 1992 Technic Aircraft with 273 pieces. Features working functions, detailed mechanical build, and authentic plane design, no minifigs needed when engineering is the star. Set 8837. Pneumatic Excavator. Released in 1992. This 257-piece set retails for €104, with used copies averaging €30. Classic 1992 Technic Excavator with real pneumatic power. 257 pieces build a fully functional digger with air-driven boom, Arm and bucket, engineering play at its finest. Set 8838. Shock cycle. Released in 1991. This 251-piece set retails for €150, with used copies averaging €21. Classic 1991 Technic motorcycle with 251 pieces, featuring working suspension, detailed engine mechanics, and authentic bike geometry. A challenging build for gearheads. Set 8839. Supply ship. Released in 1992. This 532-piece set retails for €155, with used copies averaging €57. Massive 532-piece Technic supply ship with working crane, motorized functions, and intricate mechanical details. A complex 1992 build blending nautical engineering with classic Technic ingenuity. Set 8840. Rally shock and roll racer. Released in 1990. This 225-piece set retails for €86, with used copies averaging €24. Classic 1990 Technic rally car with working suspension, 225 pieces, and one minifig. Real shock absorbers bring this rugged off-road racer to life. Set 8841. Dune buggy. Released in 1983. This 180-piece set retails for €90, with used copies averaging €16. Classic 1983 Technic off-roader with 180 pieces. Build a rugged dune buggy with working suspension and mechanical details that defined early Technic engineering. Set 8842. Go-kart. Released in 1986. This 281-piece set retails for €73, with used copies averaging €29. Classic 1986 Technic go-kart with 281 pieces featuring working steering, suspension and detailed engine. A vintage gem that showcases real mechanical engineering for builders. Set 8843. Forklift truck. Released in 1984. This 269-piece set retails for €205, with used copies averaging €28. Classic 1984 Technic forklift with 269 pieces, working lift mechanism, and authentic industrial detail. A vintage engineering build that captures real warehouse machinery in brick form. Set 8844. Helicopter. Released in 1981. This 316-piece set retails for €152, with used copies averaging €25. Classic 1981 Technic helicopter with 316 pieces. Features working mechanics and authentic rotor design, an early masterpiece of LEGO engineering for builders who love aviation. Set 8845. Dune buggy. Released in 1981. This 174-piece set retails for €345, with used copies averaging €17. Classic 1981 Technic off-roader with 174 pieces. Build a rugged dune buggy with working suspension and mechanical details. Pure engineering fun from LEGO's golden era. Set 8846. Tow truck. Released in 1982. This 379-piece set retails for €224, with used copies averaging €52. Classic 1982 Technic tow truck with 379 pieces, featuring working mechanics and authentic details. A vintage engineering gem for builders who love functional, realistic models. Set 8847. Dragster. Released in 1983. This 250-piece set retails for €320, with used copies averaging €86. Classic 1983 Technic dragster with 250 pieces. Build a detailed racing machine with working mechanical functions. A vintage gem that sparked a generation of engineering enthusiasts. Set 8848. Power truck. Released in 1981. This 398-piece set retails for €343, with used copies averaging €75. Classic 1981 Technic power truck with 398 pieces. Build a working mechanical truck with authentic gears, steering, and engine details. A vintage engineering challenge for serious builders. Set 8849. Tractor. Released in 1986. This 346-piece set retails for €259, with used copies averaging €59. Classic 1986 Technic tractor with 346 pieces featuring working mechanics and authentic farm detail. Build real engineering functions into this iconic agricultural model. Set 8850. Rally support truck. Released in 1990. This 354-piece set retails for €209, with used copies averaging €69. Classic 1990 Technic rally truck with 354 pieces, working suspension, and one minifig. A detailed support vehicle built for off-road adventure and mechanical realism. Set 8851. Excavator. Released in 1984. This 347-piece set retails for €428, with used copies averaging €57. Classic 1984 Technic excavator with 347 pieces. Features working arm, bucket mechanics and authentic digging action. A vintage engineering masterpiece for builders. Set 8852. Robot. Released in 1987. This 327-piece set retails for €158, with used copies averaging €26. Classic 1987 Technic robot with 327 pieces, posable limbs, and mechanical joints. A vintage gem that defined an era of buildable, functional robotic design. Set 8853. Excavator. Released in 1988. This 326-piece set retails for €116, with used copies averaging €24. Classic 1988 Technic excavator with 326 pieces, working boom, arm and bucket mechanics. A vintage engineering masterpiece showcasing real hydraulic style movement. Set 8854. Power crane. Released in 1989. This 516-piece set retails for €261, with used copies averaging €73. Classic 1989 Technic crane with 516 pieces, featuring working boom, pneumatic functions, and authentic mechanical details. A masterpiece of engineering for serious builders. Set 8855. Prop plane. Released in 1988. This 569-piece set retails for €197, with used copies averaging €47. Classic 1988 Technic prop plane with 569 pieces, working mechanisms, and a pilot minifig. Build a detailed aircraft with authentic moving parts and functional engineering features. Set 8856. Whirlwind rescue. Released in 1991. This 517-piece set retails for €190, with used copies averaging €67. 517-piece Technic helicopter with working rotor mechanisms, rescue winch, and intricate gear systems. A 1991 classic that delivers authentic mechanical action without a single minifig needed. Set 8857. Motorcycles. Released in 1980. This 377-piece set retails for €104, with used copies averaging €86. Classic 1980 Technic set featuring 377 pieces to build detailed motorcycles with working mechanical functions. A vintage engineering challenge for gearheads young and old. Set 8857. Motorcycles. Released in 1980. This 377-piece set retails for €104, with used copies averaging €86. Classic 1980 Technic set featuring 377 pieces to build detailed motorcycles with working mechanical functions. A vintage engineering challenge for gearheads young and old. Set 8858. Engines. Released in 1980. This 240-piece set retails for €207, with used copies averaging €111. Classic 1980 Technic set with 240 pieces to build realistic engine models. Explore mechanical principles through hands-on construction of authentic-looking motors. Set 8858. Engines. Released in 1980. This 240-piece set retails for €207, with used copies averaging €111. Classic 1980 Technic set with 240 pieces to build realistic engine models. Explore mechanical principles through hands-on construction of authentic-looking motors. Set 8859. Tractor. Released in 1981. This 610-piece set retails for €389, with used copies averaging €88. Classic 1981 Technic tractor with 610 pieces featuring working steering, gears and suspension. A landmark set showcasing early Technic engineering at its finest. Set 8860. Car chassis. Released in 1980. This 668-piece set retails for €856, with used copies averaging €106. Classic 1980 Technic masterpiece with 668 pieces. Features working engine, suspension and steering, a full functioning car chassis that defined mechanical LEGO building for generations. Set 8862. Backhoe grader. Released in 1989. This 671-piece set retails for €363, with used copies averaging €126. Classic 1989 Technic workhorse with 671 pieces. Features working backhoe arm, front grader blade, and authentic gear-driven functions. A golden era engineering masterpiece. Set 8865. Test car. Released in 1988. This 900-piece set retails for €380, with used copies averaging €119. Classic 1988 Technic masterpiece with 900 pieces. Build a detailed working test car with authentic suspension, steering and engine mechanics. A golden era engineering gem. Set 8868. Air Tech Claw Rig. Released in 1992. This 954-piece set retails for €709, with used copies averaging €197. Massive 954-piece Technic crane truck featuring pneumatic-powered claw arm, working steering, and complex gear systems. A 1992 engineering marvel for serious builders. Set 8872. Forklift Transporter. Released in 1993. This 763-piece set retails for €357, with used copies averaging €66. Classic 1993 Technic hauler with 763 pieces. Features a working forklift on a heavy transporter truck, gears, pneumatics, and mechanical action packed into one impressive build. Set 8880. Supercar. Released in 1994. This 1,343-piece set retails for €761, with used copies averaging €184. 1994 Technic masterpiece with 1,343 pieces featuring working V8 engine, four-wheel steering, and full suspension. A complex, rewarding build that defined a generation of LEGO engineering. Set 9390. Mini tow truck. Released in 2012. This 136-piece set retails for €15, with used copies averaging €5. Compact 136-piece Technic tow truck with working steering and functional crane arm. A perfect pocket-sized build for budding engineers who love realistic mechanical details. Set 9391. Tracked crane. Released in 2012. This 218-piece set retails for €32, with used copies averaging €13. Build a rugged track crane with 218 pieces. Features working boom, realistic crawler tracks, and functional lifting mechanism. A compact Technic challenge for budding engineers. Set 9392. Quad bike. Released in 2012. This 199-piece set retails for €40, with used copies averaging €9. Build a rugged 199-piece Technic quad bike with working steering and suspension. Compact yet detailed, this 2012 set delivers authentic off-road mechanics in a fun, buildable model. Set 9393. Tractor. Released in 2012. This 353-piece set retails for €71, with used copies averaging €22. Build a working Technic tractor with 353 pieces. Features realistic steering, movable parts and authentic farm details. A hands-on mechanical challenge for budding engineers. Set 9394. Jet plane. Released in 2012. This 499-piece set retails for €63, with used copies averaging €30. Build a sleek 499-piece Technic jet with working flaps, moving landing gear and detailed engines. Real mechanical functions bring this aircraft to life, no pilot needed. Set 9395. Pickup tow truck. Released in 2012. This 954-piece set retails for €151, with used copies averaging €39. Detailed 954-piece Technic pickup tow truck with working crane, extendable boom, and realistic steering. A mechanical marvel showcasing authentic engineering functions. Set 9396. Helicopter. Released in 2012. This 1,056-piece set retails for €126, with used copies averaging €70. Massive 1,056-piece Technic helicopter with working rotor mechanisms, realistic controls, and complex gear functions. A challenging build delivering authentic engineering detail. Set 9397. Logging truck. Released in 2012. This 1,308-piece set retails for €175, with used copies averaging €86. Massive 1,308-piece Technic logging truck with working crane, log grabber, and realistic suspension. Full pneumatic functions bring this detailed timber hauler to life. Set 9398. 4x4 crawler. Released in 2012. This 1,327-piece set retails for €223, with used copies averaging €113. Massive 1,327-piece RC-ready 4x4 crawler with independent suspension, working differentials and realistic off-road articulation. A Technic engineering masterpiece. Set 30,465. Helicopter. Released in 2021. This 70-piece set retails for €6, with used copies averaging €3. Compact 70-piece Technic helicopter with realistic rotor mechanics. Build and spin your way through this palm-sized polybag model packed with engineering detail. Set 30,655. Forklift with pallet. Released in 2023. This 78-piece set retails for €5, with used copies averaging €2. Compact 78-piece Technic forklift with working lifting mechanism and pallet. Detailed engineering in a pocket-sized build, perfect intro to Technic mechanics. Set 30,710. Skid steer loader. Released in 2025. This 52-piece set retails for €4, with used copies averaging €2. Compact 52-piece Technic build featuring a detailed skid steer loader with functional lifting arm. Perfect pocket-sized engineering challenge for young builders on the go. Set 30,735. Hot rod car. Released in 2026. This 83-piece set retails for €3, with used copies averaging €3. Build a sleek 83-piece Technic hot rod with authentic mechanical details. This compact polybag model captures classic American muscle car style with working steering or suspension elements. Set 30,736. White seaplane. Released in 2026. This 82-piece set retails for €3, with used copies averaging €3. Build a sleek white seaplane with 82 Technic pieces. Functional details bring this classic water aircraft to life, perfect for aviation fans seeking a compact, satisfying build. Set 41,999. 4x4 crawler exclusive edition. Released in 2013. This 1,585-piece set retails for €355, with used copies averaging €189. Massive 1,585-piece Technic 4x4 crawler with full suspension, working differentials and crawler gearbox. A rare exclusive built for serious off-road performance. Set 42,000. Grand Prix Racer. Released in 2013. This 1,141-piece set retails for €199, with used copies averaging €60. Build a detailed F1 style race car with 1,141 Technic pieces. Features working steering, V6 engine with moving pistons, and gearbox. Rebuilds into a sleek dragster. Set 42,001. Mini off-roader. Released in 2013. This 100-piece set retails for €11, with used copies averaging €5. Compact 100-piece Technic off-roader with working steering and suspension. A perfect entry-level build packed with real mechanical functions in a rugged mini 4x4 design. Set 42,002. Hovercraft. Released in 2013. This 170-piece set retails for €21, with used copies averaging €7. Compact 170-piece Technic hovercraft with authentic floating craft design. Features working propeller and realistic hull details. A sleek mechanical build for budding engineers. Set 42,004. Mini backhoe loader. Released in 2013. This 246-piece set retails for €26, with used copies averaging €8. Compact 246-piece Technic set featuring a working backhoe with movable arm, scoop, and stabilizers. Build real mechanical functions in miniature scale. Set 42,005. Monster truck. Released in 2013. This 329-piece set retails for €72, with used copies averaging €27. Crush terrain with this 329-piece Technic monster truck. Features working suspension, massive wheels, and realistic articulation. Pure mechanical fun without a single minifig needed. Set 42,006. Excavator. Released in 2013. This 720-piece set retails for €122, with used copies averaging €65. Fully functional 720-piece Technic excavator with working arm, grabber, and 360 degrees cab rotation. Rebuild into a compact wheeled loader. No minifigs, pure mechanical mastery. Set 42,007. Motocross bike. Released in 2013. This 253-piece set retails for €104, with used copies averaging €32. Build a rugged 253-piece Technic motocross bike with authentic suspension, working steering, and detailed engine. A mechanical masterpiece for off-road enthusiasts. Set 42,008. Service truck. Released in 2013. This 1,276-piece set retails for €247, with used copies averaging €87. Massive 1,276-piece Technic service truck with working crane, pneumatic functions, and detailed cab. A mechanical powerhouse packed with realistic engineering features. Set 42,009. Mobile crane Mk2. Released in 2013. This 2,606-piece set retails for €365, with used copies averaging €187. Massive 2,606-piece Technic masterpiece featuring a working crane, outriggers, and complex gearbox. Fully functional with multiple motorizable features. A true engineering challenge. Set 42,010. Off-road racer. Released in 2013. This 160-piece set retails for €22, with used copies averaging €6. Compact Technic off-road racer with 160 pieces, featuring real suspension and rugged 4x4 mechanics. Build and race this dirt-ready beast across any terrain. Set 42,011. Race car. Released in 2013. This 158-piece set retails for €32, with used copies averaging €9. Build a sleek 158-piece Technic race car with working steering and suspension. Fast, functional details make this compact speed machine a perfect intro to Technic engineering. Set 42,020. Twin rotor helicopter. Released in 2014. This 145-piece set retails for €18, with used copies averaging €5. Build a working twin rotor helicopter with 145 Technic pieces. Features dual spinning rotors and realistic mechanical details in a compact, action-packed 2014 set. Set 42,021. Snowmobile. Released in 2014. This 186-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €5. Tackle snowy terrain with this 186-piece Technic snowmobile. Features realistic suspension, track mechanism and steering. A compact build packed with authentic engineering detail. Set 42,022. Hot rod. Released in 2014. This 414-piece set retails for €52, with used copies averaging €10. Build a classic American hot rod with 414 Technic pieces. Features working steering, V8 engine with moving pistons, and sleek custom bodywork. Pure mechanical style. Set 42,023. Construction crew. Released in 2014. This 833-piece set retails for €108, with used copies averaging €27. Build a working construction site with 833 Technic pieces. Features functional crane, dump truck and excavator with realistic gear mechanisms. Engineering action without minifigs. Set 42,024. Container truck. Released in 2014. This 948-piece set retails for €132, with used copies averaging €44. Massive 948-piece Technic container truck with working steering, detailed cab, and detachable cargo container. A realistic build capturing the power of heavy freight transport. Set 42,025. Cargo plane. Released in 2014. This 1,297-piece set retails for €197, with used copies averaging €84. Massive 1,297-piece Technic cargo plane with working functions, foldable landing gear, and opening cargo bay. Includes buildable forklift vehicle. Pure mechanical engineering at its finest. Set 42,026. Black Champion Racer. Released in 2014. This 137-piece set retails for €35, with used copies averaging €4. Sleek black racing car with working steering, detailed suspension, and authentic Technic mechanics. 137 pieces build a fast, functional racer with real engineering details. Set 42,027. Desert Racer. Released in 2014. This 148-piece set retails for €19.99, with used copies averaging €8. Sleek 148-piece Technic off-road racer built for desert terrain. Features working suspension and rugged buggy design, pure mechanical fun in a compact, buildable package. Set 42,028. Bulldozer. Released in 2014. This 617-piece set retails for €113, with used copies averaging €34. Powerful 617-piece Technic bulldozer with working blade, realistic tracks, and functional steering. A detailed mechanical build showcasing authentic construction machinery engineering. Set 42,029. Customized pickup truck. Released in 2014. This 1063-piece set retails for €137, with used copies averaging €68. Build a rugged 1063-piece Technic pickup with working suspension, four-wheel drive, openable hood, and customizable features. Real engineering meets off-road power. Set 42,031. Cherry picker. Released in 2015. This 155-piece set retails for €22, with used copies averaging €7. Compact Technic cherry picker with working hydraulic boom arm. Steerable front wheels and realistic lift mechanism in 155 pieces. Perfect introduction to Technic engineering. Set 42,032. Compact track loader. Released in 2015. This 252-piece set retails for €56, with used copies averaging €11. Mighty Mini construction machine. Build a working track loader with functional boom arm, blade, and realistic rubber tracks. 252 Technic pieces of mechanical fun. Set 42,033. Record breaker. Released in 2015. This 125-piece set retails for €39, with used copies averaging €12. Sleek Technic racer with working steering and adjustable aerodynamics. 125 pieces build a speed-optimized dragster that captures real racing engineering in miniature form. Set 42,034. Quad bike. Released in 2015. This 148-piece set retails for €37, with used copies averaging €8. Compact 148-piece Technic quad bike with working steering and detailed suspension. A fun, buildable off-road machine perfect for beginners exploring Technic mechanics. Set 42,035. Mining truck. Released in 2015. This 362-piece set retails for €45, with used copies averaging €17. Massive 362-piece Technic mining truck with working steering, detailed suspension, and realistic dumper bed. Build a beast built for the toughest terrain. Set 42,036. Street motorcycle. Released in 2015. This 375-piece set retails for €43, with used copies averaging €19. Build a detailed 375-piece Technic street motorcycle with working suspension, realistic engine, and authentic styling. A satisfying mechanical build for bike enthusiasts. Set 42,037. Formula off-roader. Released in 2015. This 494-piece set retails for €64, with used copies averaging €31. Race off-road in this 494-piece Technic Formula off-roader featuring working suspension, articulated steering, and a detailed V6 engine with moving pistons. Rebuild as a sleek race buggy. Set 42,038. Arctic truck. Released in 2015. This 913-piece set retails for €106, with used copies averaging €68. Build a heavy-duty Arctic exploration truck in Technic detail. Features all-wheel drive, working crane and detachable snowmobile. Set 42,039. 24 hours race car. Released in 2015. This 1,219-piece set retails for €141, with used copies averaging €60. Build a detailed 1,219-piece endurance racer with working steering, V8 engine, and gearbox. Captures the speed and precision of 24-hour motorsport in authentic Technic form. Set 42,040. Fireplane. Released in 2015. This 578-piece set retails for €104, with used copies averaging €19. Technic firefighting plane with 578 pieces, featuring working water drop mechanism, retractable landing gear, and detailed engine functions. Build and deploy aerial firefighting action. Set 42,041. Race truck. Released in 2015. This 608-piece set retails for €86, with used copies averaging €26. Powerful 608-piece Technic race truck with authentic details, working steering, and realistic suspension. A challenging build delivering serious mechanical action on and off the track. Set 42,042. Crawler crane. Released in 2015. This 1,401-piece set retails for €214, with used copies averaging €109. Massive 1,401-piece crawler crane with motorized functions, extending boom, and realistic tracked base. A detailed Technic engineering masterpiece for serious builders. Set 42,044. Display Team Jet. Released in 2016. This 113-piece set retails for €12, with used copies averaging €5. Sleek Technic display jet with working flaps and realistic aerobatic details. 113 pieces build an impressive aircraft perfect for recreating thrilling airshow maneuvers. Set 42045. Hydroplane Racer. Released in 2016. This 180-piece set retails for €26, with used copies averaging €11. Speed across water with this 180-piece Technic hydroplane featuring working steering and authentic racing design. Build, race, and rebuild into an alternate model. Set 42046. Getaway Racer. Released in 2016. This 170-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €11. Sleek 170-piece Technic Racer with working steering and realistic suspension. Build a compact, high-speed getaway car packed with authentic mechanical details. Set 42047. Police Interceptor. Released in 2016. This 185-piece set retails for €28, with used copies averaging €8. Fast pursuit vehicle with working steering, suspension and speed boost function. Authentic police details in 185 pieces. No minifigs needed, pure Technic engineering. Set 42048. Race Kart. Released in 2016. This 345-piece set retails for €57, with used copies averaging €16. Build a detailed 345-piece race kart with working steering, V-twin engine, and authentic suspension. Pure Technic engineering showcasing real motorsport mechanics in miniature form. Set 42049. Mine Loader. Released in 2016. This 476-piece set retails for €66, with used copies averaging €39. Build a powerful underground mine loader with 476 Technic pieces. Features realistic articulated arms, working pneumatics, and rugged mining detail. No minifigs, pure mechanical action. Set 42050. Drag Racer. Released in 2016. This 647-piece set retails for €72, with used copies averaging €44. Build a high-speed drag racer with 647 Technic pieces. Features working steering, detailed engine, and authentic racing design. Pure speed in brick form. Set 42052. Heavy Lift Helicopter. Released in 2016. This 1042-piece set retails for €169, with used copies averaging €82. Massive 1042-piece Technic helicopter with dual rotors, working winch, and realistic mechanical functions. A detailed engineering challenge for serious builders. Set 42055. Bucket Wheel Excavator. Released in 2016. This 3,929-piece set retails for €401, with used copies averaging €207. Massive 3,929-piece Technic engineering marvel. This motorized bucket wheel excavator features working conveyor belts, rotating superstructure, and realistic mining action. A true collector's scent. Set 42057. Ultralight Helicopter. Released in 2017. This 199-piece set retails for €27, with used copies averaging €6. Compact 199-piece Technic ultralight helicopter with working rotor and realistic mechanical details. A sleek, buildable aircraft model perfect for aviation enthusiasts. Set 42058. Stunt Bike. Released in 2017. This 140-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €5. Compact 140-piece Technic stunt bike with pullback motor for jaw-dropping wheelies and stunts. Authentic suspension and detailed engine make this pocket-sized racer a thrilling build. Set 42059. Stunt Truck. Released in 2017. This 142-piece set retails for €19.99, with used copies averaging €13. Compact 142-piece Technic stunt truck with working suspension and pullback motor. Built for big jumps and tricks. Perfect entry-level build for budding engineers. Set 42060. Roadwork Crew. Released in 2017. This 365-piece set retails for €21, with used copies averaging €10. Build a road roller and night paver with 365 Technic pieces. Features working steering, realistic mechanisms and transforms into two functional roadwork vehicles. No minifigs needed. Set 42061. Telehandler. Released in 2017. This 260-piece set retails for €49, with used copies averaging €35. Compact Technic telehandler with extendable boom arm and realistic lifting function. 260 pieces of functional engineering in a versatile construction machine build. Set 40-2062. Container Yard. Released in 2017. This 631-piece set retails for €78, with used copies averaging €35. Operate a bustling container yard with working crane, forklift and truck. 631 Technic pieces deliver authentic industrial machinery with real mechanical functions. Set 40-2064. Ocean Explorer. Released in 2017. This 1,327-piece set retails for €201, with used copies averaging €82. Dive deep with this 1,327-piece Technic ocean research vessel featuring a submarine, helicopter, crane, and working functions. A detailed marine exploration set built for serious builders. Set 40-2065. RC Tracked Racer. Released in 2017. This 370-piece set retails for €110, with used copies averaging €52. Race at full speed with this 370-piece RC Tracked Racer. Featuring real working treads and remote control functions, this Technic build delivers authentic off-road thrills. Set 40-2066. Air Race Jet. Released in 2017. This 1,151-piece set retails for €150, with used copies averaging €89. Sleek 1,151-piece Technic Air Race Jet with working flaps, folding landing gear and detailed cockpit. Built for speed enthusiasts who crave authentic aerobatic engineering. Set 40-2068. Airport Rescue Vehicle. Released in 2017. This 1,094-piece set retails for €198, with used copies averaging €79. Massive 1,094-piece airport fire truck with working steering, extending boom, and realistic emergency details. A complex Technic build capturing the power of real rescue vehicles. Set 40-2069. Extreme Adventure. Released in 2017. This 2,382-piece set retails for €182, with used copies averaging €122. Massive 2,382-piece Technic mountain crawler with four-wheel drive, independent suspension, winch and working V6 engine. Pure off-road engineering excellence. Set 40-2070. 6x6 all-terrain tow truck. Released in 2017. This 1,862-piece set retails for €254, with used copies averaging €171. Massive 6x6 Technic tow truck with 1,862 pieces, working crane, pneumatic outriggers and realistic suspension. A true off-road engineering challenge for advanced builders. Set 40-2071. Dozer Compactor. Released in 2018. This 171-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €10. Compact 171-piece Technic build featuring a working dozer blade and drum compactor with realistic steering and rolling action. Perfect starter model for budding engineers. Set 40-2072. Whack. Released in 2018. This 135-piece set retails for €19.99, with used copies averaging €7. Compact Technic racer with working suspension and pullback motor. 135 pieces deliver real mechanical action in a bold, aggressive buggy build. Set 40-2073. Bash. Released in 2018. This 139-piece set retails for €29, with used copies averaging €9. Compact 139-piece Technic racer with functional steering and authentic suspension. Build a tough, agile off-road buggy ready to bash through any terrain. Set 40-2074. Racing Yacht. Released in 2018. This 330-piece set retails for €41, with used copies averaging €20. Build a sleek 330-piece racing yacht with working steering, adjustable sails, and a twin-hull design. Technic mechanics bring this competitive sailboat to life in authentic detail. Set 40-2075. First Responder. Released in 2018. This 513-piece set retails for €60, with used copies averaging €20. Build a rugged off-road rescue vehicle with working suspension, steering, and winch. 513 Technic pieces create a detailed first responder truck ready for any terrain. Set 40-2076. Hovercraft. Released in 2018. This 1,020-piece set retails for €86, with used copies averaging €43. Build a working Technic hovercraft with 1,020 pieces. Features realistic air propulsion, steerable design and authentic details. No minifigs, just pure mechanical engineering fun. Set 42077. Rally car. Released in 2018. This 1005-piece set retails for €99.99, with used copies averaging €35. Build a rugged 1005-piece Technic rally car with working suspension, steering, and gearbox. Rebuild into a hot rod. Pure mechanical detail, zero minifigs needed. Set 42079. Heavy-duty forklift. Released in 2018. This 592-piece set retails for €125, with used copies averaging €45. Powerful 592-piece Technic forklift with working hydraulics, steerable axles, and a detailed engine. Rebuilds into an alternate model. No minifigs, just pure mechanical action. Set 42080. Forest harvester. Released in 2018. This 1003-piece set retails for €129.99, with used copies averaging €81. Massive 1003-piece Technic forest harvester with working crane arm, rotating saw, and realistic logging functions. Built for true mechanical detail lovers. Set 42082. Rough terrain crane. Released in 2018. This 4057-piece set retails for €258, with used copies averaging €197. Massive 4057-piece Technic crane with working outriggers, extendable boom, steering axles, and power functions motor. A true engineering marvel for advanced builders. Set 42084. Hook loader. Released in 2018. This 176-piece set retails for €19, with used copies averaging €4. Compact Technic hook loader with working hook mechanism and tipping container. 176 pieces of realistic truck engineering in a buildable, functional model. Set 42088. Cherry picker. Released in 2019. This 155-piece set retails for €12, with used copies averaging €5. Compact Technic cherry picker with working boom arm and extending platform. 155 pieces build a functional aerial lift with realistic hydraulic style movement. Set 42089. Power boat. Released in 2019. This 174-piece set retails for €23, with used copies averaging €9. Sleek 174-piece Technic power boat with working steering and detailed hull design. A compact, buildable watercraft perfect for speed enthusiasts and young engineers. Set 42090. Getaway truck. Released in 2019. This 128-piece set retails for €19.99, with used copies averaging €6. Compact Technic truck with working steering and rugged off-road design. 128 pieces build a detailed cab and chunky tires perfect for fast escapes. Set 42091. Police pursuit. Released in 2019. This 120-piece set retails for €20, with used copies averaging €6. Fast-paced police chase action in 120 Technic pieces. Build both a sleek pursuit car and motorbike with working steering and realistic mechanical details. Set 42092. Rescue helicopter. Released in 2019. This 325-piece set retails for €36, with used copies averaging €9. Build a working rescue helicopter with spinning rotors, functional winch, and realistic details. 325 Technic pieces deliver authentic mechanics in this action-packed aerial rescue model. Set 42094. Track loader. Released in 2019. This 827-piece set retails for €131, with used copies averaging €50. Powerful 827-piece track loader with working bucket, realistic rubber tracks and pneumatic style functions. Rebuild into a compact tracked excavator. Set 42095. Remote controlled stunt racer. Released in 2019. This 324-piece set retails for €111, with used copies averaging €54. RC stunt racer with real working remote control, 324 Technic pieces, trick-ready suspension and sleek bodywork. Pull off flips and spins with genuine motorized control. Set 42097. Compact crawler crane. Released in 2019. This 920-piece set retails for €102, with used copies averaging €65. 920-piece Technic crawler crane with working boom, hook, and realistic tracked base. Features authentic engineering details and functional mechanisms for true building challenge. Set 42098. Car transporter. Released in 2019. This 2,493-piece set retails for €224, with used copies averaging €130. Massive 2,493-piece Technic hauler with working ramps, steering, and space to load 4 cars. Features realistic pneumatic functions and folds for compact storage. Set 42,099. 4x4 Extreme Offroader. Released in 2019. This 958-piece set retails for €245, with used copies averaging €139. RC-controlled 4x4 beast with independent suspension, portal axles and working V6 engine. 958 pieces of rugged Technic engineering built for any terrain. Set 42,101. Buggy. Released in 2020. This 117-piece set retails for €15, with used copies averaging €5. Compact 117-piece Technic buggy with working suspension and rugged off-road design. A perfect entry-level build packed with real mechanical detail. Set 42,103. Dragster. Released in 2020. This 225-piece set retails for €20, with used copies averaging €8. Build a sleek, high-speed dragster with working V8 piston engine, authentic aerodynamic body, and functional steering. 225 Technic pieces deliver real racing mechanics in miniature form. Set 42,104. Race truck. Released in 2020. This 227-piece set retails for €20, with used copies averaging €10. Build a powerful race truck with realistic steering, V6 engine with moving pistons and opening hood. 227 pieces of authentic Technic engineering and competition-ready styling. Set 42,105. Catamaran. Released in 2020. This 404-piece set retails for €39.99, with used copies averaging €21. Build a sleek 404-piece Technic catamaran with dual hulls, working rudder and sail mechanics. A hands-on nautical model that captures real sailing engineering in miniature. Set 42,106. Stunt show truck and bike. Released in 2020. This 610-piece set retails for €60, with used copies averaging €27. Build a stunt show truck and motorbike with working mechanisms. Pull back the truck to send the bike soaring through the air. Set 42,108. Mobile crane. Released in 2020. This 1,292-piece set retails for €143, with used copies averaging €78. Massive 1,292-piece Technic crane with fully functional boom, outriggers, and realistic working mechanisms. Build and operate a true engineering marvel. Set 42,112. Concrete mixer truck. Released in 2020. This 1,163-piece set retails for €108, with used copies averaging €62. Build a detailed 1,163-piece Technic concrete mixer with a rotating drum, realistic steering, and working functions. A satisfying mechanical build for engineering enthusiasts. Set 42,116. Skid steer loader. Released in 2021. This 140-piece set retails for €11, with used copies averaging €6. Compact 140-piece Technic build featuring a working skid steer loader with moving bucket arm and realistic steering mechanics. Great entry-level model for budding engineers. Set 42,117. Race plane. Released in 2021. This 145-piece set retails for €10, with used copies averaging €4. Sleek 145-piece Technic race plane with movable propeller, detailed cockpit, and realistic landing gear. A fast-building model packed with authentic aerobatic details. Set 42,120. Rescue hovercraft. Released in 2021. This 457-piece set retails for €37, with used copies averaging €13. Build a rescue hovercraft with fan-powered propulsion and working steering. A fun Technic rescue vehicle set. Set 42,121. Heavy-duty excavator. Released in 2021. This 569-piece set retails for €77, with used copies averaging €33. Build a powerful 569-piece Technic excavator with working hydraulics, rotating cab, and moving boom arm. A satisfying mechanical model for engineering enthusiasts aged 10+. Set 42,124. Off-road buggy. Released in 2021. This 374-piece set retails for €141, with used copies averaging €82. RC-controlled Technic buggy with 374 pieces, working suspension, and rugged off-road design. App-driven motor lets you tackle any terrain with real mechanical detail. Set 42,128. Heavy-duty tow truck. Released in 2021. This 2017 piece set retails for €179.99, with used copies averaging €109. Massive 2017 piece Technic tow truck with working boom, outriggers, and realistic mechanics. Authentic heavy rescue detail and a buildable engineering masterpiece. Set 42,132. Motorcycle. Released in 2022. This 163-piece set retails for €10, with used copies averaging €6. Build a detailed 163-piece Technic motorcycle with working steering, authentic suspension, and realistic engine details. A perfect compact model for mechanics-minded builders. Set 42,133. Telehandler. Released in 2022. This 143-piece set retails for €13, with used copies averaging €9. Compact 143-piece Technic telehandler with extendable boom arm and realistic lifting functions. Perfect starter model for young builders exploring real-world machinery. Set 42,139. All-terrain vehicle. Released in 2022. This 764-piece set retails for €89.99, with used copies averaging €47. Rugged 764-piece Technic ATV with working suspension, detailed engine, and realistic off-road features. Built for terrain-conquering adventures without limits. Set 42,140. App-controlled transformation vehicle. Released in 2022. This 772-piece set retails for €149.99, with used copies averaging €90. Transform and command. 772-piece Technic vehicle shifts between modes via app control. Features motorized transformation, realistic mechanics, and hands-free driving. Build, code, and conquer. Set 42,144. Material handler. Released in 2022. This 835-piece set retails for €119.99, with used copies averaging €71. Build a powerful 835-piece material handler with realistic hydraulics, rotating cab, and posable arm. Features authentic industrial mechanics perfect for Technic enthusiasts. Set 42,147. Dump truck. Released in 2023. This 177-piece set retails for €10, with used copies averaging €4. Compact Technic dump truck with working tipper bed. 177 pieces of real mechanical action. Perfect starter build for young engineers craving hands-on construction fun. Set 42,148. Snow groomer. Released in 2023. This 178-piece set retails for €11, with used copies averaging €4. Compact 178-piece Technic snow groomer with working blade and rotating cabin. Perfect mini build capturing real mountain machinery and authentic detail. Set 42,152. Firefighter aircraft. Released in 2023. This 1,134-piece set retails for €109.99, with used copies averaging €78. Technic firefighting aircraft with 1,134 pieces featuring functional water bombing mechanisms, realistic wing details, and authentic aerial firefighter design. A complex build for aviation enthusiasts. Set 42,163. Heavy-duty bulldozer. Released in 2024. This 195-piece set retails for €9.99, with used copies averaging €4. Compact 195-piece Technic bulldozer with working blade and realistic details. Perfect entry-level build capturing heavy construction power in a sturdy, displayable model. Set 42,164. Off-road race buggy. Released in 2024. This 219-piece set retails for €15.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build a fast off-road race buggy with working suspension and chunky tires. A fun Technic set for speed and adventure fans. Set 42,197. Backhoe loader. Released in 2025. This 104-piece set retails for €9.99, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 104-piece Technic backhoe loader with working front bucket and rear excavator arm. Perfect entry-level build delivering real construction machine functionality in a small package. Set 42,198. Bush plane. Released in 2025. This 333-piece set retails for €27.99, with used copies averaging €0. Rugged 333-piece Technic bush plane built for wild terrain adventures. Features working mechanics and authentic details for remote wilderness exploration. No minifigs needed, just pure building action. Set 42201. Deep Sea Research Submarine. Released in 2025. This 413-piece set retails for €39.99, with used copies averaging €0. Dive deep with this 413-piece Technic submarine featuring working propellers, articulated claws, and detailed mechanical internals. Built for ocean exploration enthusiasts aged 10+. Set 42203. Tipping Dump Truck. Released in 2025. This 462-piece set retails for €49.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build a working dump truck with real tipping bed action. 462 Technic pieces create authentic hydraulic-style mechanics. Perfect for young engineers who love heavy-duty construction vehicles. Set 42225. Yellow Motorcycle. Released in 2026. This 151-piece set retails for €9.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build a sleek yellow motorcycle with 151 Technic pieces. Features realistic mechanics, authentic detailing, and functional components for an immersive building experience. Set 8620. Snow Scooter. Released in 1986. This 100-piece set retails for €86, with used copies averaging €11. Classic 1986 Arctic Technic set. Build a rugged snow scooter with 100 pieces and one minifig ready to brave icy terrain. A vintage gem for cold weather adventure fans. Set 8640. Polar Copter. Released in 1986. This 238-piece set retails for €183, with used copies averaging €35. Classic 1986 Technic Arctic Helicopter with 238 pieces. Features working rotor mechanisms and cold weather exploration details. A vintage gem for Technic collectors. Set 8660. Arctic Rescue Unit. Released in 1986. This 385-piece set retails for €205, with used copies averaging €62. Classic 86 Technic Arctic Rescue Vehicle with 385 pieces, 2 minifigs, and rugged cold weather mechanics. A vintage winter adventure builder. Set 8680. Arctic Rescue Base. Released in 1986. This 523-piece set retails for €427, with used copies averaging €21. Classic 1986 Technic Arctic Base with 523 pieces, 2 minifigs, rescue vehicles and gear. Cold weather engineering meets adventure at the top of the world. Set 2854. Bungee Chopper. Released in 1998. This 72-piece set retails for €29, with used copies averaging €7. Build a 1998 Technic competition helicopter with 72 pieces featuring bungee action mechanics. Compact, function-driven design with real moving parts, no minifigs needed. Set 3038. Spider Slayer. Released in 1998. This 366-piece set retails for €60, with used copies averaging €52. Battle with 2 minifigs in this 366-piece 1998 Technic Beast. The Spider Slayer packs mechanical action and competitive thrills into a rugged, buildable combat machine. Set 8202. Bungee Chopper. Released in 1998. This 72-piece set retails for €35, with used copies averaging €4. Compact 1998 Technic helicopter with working bungee mechanism. 72 pieces of functional engineering in a competition-ready build. Simple yet satisfying mechanical action. Set 8233. Blue Thunder vs. the Stinger. Released in 1998. This 119-piece set retails for €24, with used copies averaging €13. 1998 Technic battle set pitting Blue Thunder against the Stinger. 119 pieces build 2 competing vehicles with a minifig driver. Classic 90s action-packed racing rivalry. Set 8239. Cyber Slam Spider. Released in 1998. This 119-piece set retails for €58, with used copies averaging €38. Battle-ready 1998 Technic Spider Bot with 119 pieces and 1 minifig. Mechanical legs and competition action make this arachnid fighter a classic retro build. Set 8245. Robots Revenge. Released in 1998. This 223-piece set retails for €33, with used copies averaging €27. Battle-ready 1998 Technic robot with 223 pieces and 1 minifig. Gear-driven mechanisms bring this competition crusher to life with authentic moving parts and retro mech charm. Set 8257. Cyber Strikers. Released in 1998. This 367-piece set retails for €85, with used copies averaging €35. 1998 Technic Battle Set with 367 pieces and 2 minifigs. Build rival cyber warriors and pit them in combat. Gears and mechanisms bring the fighting action to life. Set 8266. Blue Flash vs. the Arachnophobe. Released in 1998. This 366-piece set retails for €44, with used copies averaging €26. Two rival Technic racers clash. Build the sleek Blue Flash or the menacing Arachnophobe Spider Car. 366 pieces, 2 minifigs, pure 90s competition action. Set 8268. Scorpion Attack. Released in 1999. This 85-piece set retails for €28, with used copies averaging €13. Compact 1999 Technic competition set featuring opposable scorpion with snapping claws and a stinger tail. 85 pieces build a fierce mechanical creature with 1 minifig rider. Set 8269. Cyber Stinger. Released in 1999. This 345-piece set retails for €53, with used copies averaging €23. Fast 345-piece Technic Scorpion Racer with working steering, sleek low-slung body, and a deadly stinger tail. Includes 1 minifig driver ready for competition. Set 8305. Dual Bikes. Released in 2000. This 192-piece set retails for €69, with used copies averaging €61. Two rival riders clash in this 192-piece Technic showdown. Build dueling bikes with working mechanics and 2 minifigs ready for head-to-head competition. Classic 2000 action. Set 8307. Stunt Race. Released in 2000. This 392-piece set retails for €53, with used copies averaging €32. Build a high-speed stunt racer with 392 Technic pieces. Features working suspension, realistic mechanics, and a minifig driver ready for daring competition track challenges. Set 8450. The Mission. Released in 1999. This 643-piece set retails for €65, with used copies averaging €40. Conquer 1999 Technic terrain with this 643-piece competition beast. Gear-driven mechanics, rugged suspension, and complex engineering challenge await builders seeking serious off-road action. Set 8482. Cybermaster. Released in 1998. This 889-piece set retails for €87, with used copies averaging €77. Control a programmable 889-piece Technic robot with IR remote in this 1998 classic. Includes minifig and advanced gear systems for real competitive battles. Set 4,000,2017. Nutcracker. Released in 2017. This 732-piece set retails for €232, with used copies averaging €258. Rare 2017 LEGO Employee Gift. This 732-piece Technic Nutcracker features intricate mechanical functions, bringing a festive classic to life with authentic engineering. A true collector's gem. Set 42111. Dom's Dodge Charger. Released in 2020. This 1077-piece set retails for €129, with used copies averaging €64. Build Dom Toretto's iconic 1970 Dodge Charger from Fast and Furious in Technic detail. Features a V8 engine and opening doors. Set 42204. Fast and Furious Toyota Supra Mk4. Released in 2025. This 810-piece set retails for €59.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Fast and Furious Toyota Supra Mk4 in 810 Technic pieces. Features detailed bodywork, working suspension, and authentic styling from the legendary film franchise. Set 42210. Too Fast Too Furious Nissan Skyline GT-R, R34, car. Released in 2025. This 1,410-piece set retails for €139.99, with used copies averaging €0. Iconic R34 Skyline GT-R from Too Fast Too Furious built in 1,410 Technic pieces. Features detailed engine, working suspension and authentic film-accurate livery. Set 42229. Mitsubishi Eclipse. Released in 2026. This 827-piece set retails for €64.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Fast and Furious Mitsubishi Eclipse in 827 Technic pieces. Recreate the legendary street racer with detailed mechanics and authentic styling from the beloved franchise. Set 42,231. Dodge Charger RT. Released in 2026. This 1,516-piece set retails for €149.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Fast and Furious Dodge Charger RT in 1,516 Technic pieces. Detailed muscle car engineering with authentic styling, Dom Toretto's legendary ride recreated in brick form. Set 1,237. Honda Asimo. Released in 2001. This 56-piece set retails for €32, with used copies averaging €35. Build Honda's iconic humanoid robot Asimo in miniature Technic form. This 56-piece model captures the pioneering walking robot's distinctive white suit design from 2001. Set 8,110. Mercedes-Benz Unimog U400. Released in 2011. This 2,048-piece set retails for €261, with used copies averaging €147. Massive 2,048-piece Technic replica of the iconic Mercedes-Benz Unimog U400, featuring working suspension, pneumatic functions, and realistic 4x4 drivetrain. The ultimate off-road builder's challenge. Set 30,433. Volvo wheel loader. Released in 2022. This 69-piece set retails for €5, with used copies averaging €3. Compact 69-piece Technic build featuring an authentic Volvo wheel loader with functional front bucket. Perfect pocket money set with real engineering detail. Set 30,682. NASA Mars rover Perseverance. Released in 2024. This 83-piece set retails for €4, with used copies averaging €2. Build NASA's Mars rover Perseverance in 83 pieces. This Technic polybag captures the iconic six-wheeled Explorer with authentic details, perfect for space fans on the go. Set 42,030. Volvo L350F wheel loader. Released in 2014. This 1,636-piece set retails for €324, with used copies averaging €144. Massive 1,636-piece Volvo L350F replica with motorized bucket, steering, and realistic functions. Authentic licensed construction giant built for serious Technic builders. Set 42,043. Mercedes-Benz Aerox 3,245. Released in 2015. This 2,793-piece set retails for €335, with used copies averaging €199. Massive 2,793-piece Technic recreation of the Mercedes-Benz Aerox 3,245 truck with working crane, outriggers, pneumatic controls, and realistic cab details. An engineering masterpiece. Set 42,053. Volvo EW160e. Released in 2016. This 1,166-piece set retails for €189, with used copies averaging €83. Build a fully functional Volvo EW160e wheeled excavator with working boom, bucket, steering, and outriggers. 1,166 pieces of authentic Technic engineering. Set 42,054. Kloss Zerion 5000 Track VC. Released in 2016. This 1,977-piece set retails for €218, with used copies averaging €139. Massive 1,977-piece replica of the iconic Kloss Zerion 5000 tractor with rotating cab, steerable axles, and working hydraulics. A Technic masterpiece for farming enthusiasts. Set 42,056. Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Released in 2016. This 2,704-piece set retails for €687, with used copies averaging €382. 2,704-piece Technic masterpiece replicating the iconic Porsche 911 GT3 RS with working gearbox, steering, and suspension. Stunning orange detail inside and out. Set 42,063. BMW R1 200 GS Adventure. Released in 2017. This 603-piece set retails for €123, with used copies averaging €45. Build BMW's iconic adventure motorcycle with 603 Technic pieces. Features authentic suspension, working steering, and detailed engine. A must for bike enthusiasts. Set 42,078. Mack Anthem. Released in 2018. This 2,595-piece set retails for €236, with used copies averaging €134. Massive 2,595-piece Technic replica of the iconic Mack Anthem semi-truck with working steering, V8 engine with moving pistons, and detailed cab interior. Set 42,081. Volvo Concept Wheel Loader Zoo. Released in 2018. This 1,167-piece set retails for €119.99, with used copies averaging €63. Massive Volvo Zoo concept loader with articulated steering, realistic bucket, detailed engine, and LEGO Control Plus compatible functions. 1,167 pieces of heavy machinery excellence. Set 42,083. Bugatti Chiron. Released in 2018. This 3,599-piece set retails for €369.99, with used copies averaging €212. Iconic 18-scale Bugatti Chiron with 3,599 pieces, working W16 engine pistons, paddle shift gearbox, and aerodynamic spoiler. The ultimate Technic supercar build. Set 42,093. Chevrolet Corvette ZR1. Released in 2019. This 579-piece set retails for €39.99, with used copies averaging €16. Build the iconic Chevrolet Corvette ZR1 in stunning detail. 579 Technic pieces create a sleek sports car with V8 engine, working steering and adjustable rear spoiler. Set 42,096. Porsche 911 RSR. Released in 2019. This 1,580-piece set retails for €199.99, with used copies averaging €79. Iconic Porsche 911 RSR racer in stunning 18-scale. 1,580 pieces reveal working flat 6 engine, gearbox and aerodynamic details. A collector's dream build. Set 42,100. Liebherr R9800. Released in 2019. This 4,108-piece set retails for €664, with used copies averaging €357. Massive 4,108-piece Technic replica of the Liebherr R9800 excavator with app-controlled motors, working hydraulics, and authentic mining scale detail. Set 42,102. Mini Klaus Zirion. Released in 2020. This 130-piece set retails for €10, with used copies averaging €7. Compact 130-piece Technic replica of the iconic Klaus Zirion tractor. Features steerable front axle and detailed cab, big agricultural engineering in a mini package. Set 42,107. Ducati Panigale V4 are released in 2020. This 646-piece set retails for €69.99, with used copies averaging €35. Iconic Ducati Panigale V4 are superbike in detailed Technic form. Features working steering, detailed engine, and authentic red bodywork. 646 pieces of pure motorcycle engineering. Set 42,109. App-controlled Top Gear rally car. Released in 2020. This 463-piece set retails for €136, with used copies averaging €63. App-controlled Top Gear rally car with 463 Technic pieces. Features realistic steering, suspension and working gearbox. Race the stick digitally with Bluetooth control. Set 42,110. Land Rover Defender. Released in 2019. This 2,573-piece set retails for €199.99, with used copies averaging €126. Iconic Land Rover Defender recreated in stunning 2,573-piece Technic detail with working suspension, gearbox, and 4WD. An engineering masterpiece for off-road enthusiasts. Set 42,113. Bell Boeing V-22 Osprey. Released in 2020. This 1,636-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic tiltrotor V-22 Osprey with 1,636 pieces. Features rotating nacelles, spinning rotors and realistic details. A complex Technic military aircraft masterpiece. Set 42,114. 6x6 Volvo articulated hauler. Released in 2020. This 2,193-piece set retails for €261, with used copies averaging €168. Massive 2,193-piece Volvo A60H hauler with working steering, realistic suspension, and detailed dump bed. A true engineering marvel for serious Technic builders. Set 42115. Lamborghini Son FKP 37. Released in 2020. This 3,696-piece set retails for €449.99, with used copies averaging €174. Build the iconic Lamborghini Son FKP 37 in stunning 18 scale. 3,696 pieces recreate working steering, V12 engine, and signature scissor doors with authentic detail. Set 42122. Jeep Wrangler. Released in 2021. This 665-piece set retails for €49.99, with used copies averaging €23. Build the iconic Jeep Wrangler in Technic detail. Features a detailed engine, four-wheel drive, steering and opening doors. Set 42123. McLaren Senna GT-R. Released in 2021. This 830-piece set retails for €49.99, with used copies averaging €23. Build the McLaren Senna GT-R in stunning detail with 830 Technic pieces. Features working suspension, aerodynamic body, and iconic butterfly doors. Pure racing DNA in brick form. Set 42125. Ferrari 488 GTE AF course number 51. Released in 2021. This 1,677-piece set retails for €199.99, with used copies averaging €84. Authentic 18-scale Ferrari 488 GTE race car with working suspension, steering, and V8 engine. 1,677 pieces capture every detail of the iconic number 51 AF course Le Mans racer. Set 42126. Ford F-150 Raptor. Released in 2021. This 1,379-piece set retails for €146, with used copies averaging €77. Build Ford's iconic off-road beast. 1,379 pieces recreate the F-150 Raptor with working suspension, V8 engine, opening doors and detailed interior. Pure Technic muscle. Set 42129. 4x4 Mercedes-Benz Z-Cross trial truck. Released in 2021. This 2,110-piece set retails for €329.99, with used copies averaging €137. Massive 2,110-piece Technic recreation of the Mercedes-Benz Z-Cross with all-wheel drive, portal axles, and working suspension, built to conquer any terrain in stunning detail. Set 42130. BMW M1000RR. Released in 2022. This 1,920-piece set retails for €249.99, with used copies averaging €0. 15-scale BMW M1000RR Superbike with 1920 pieces. Features working suspension, gearbox, pistons and realistic fairing details. The ultimate Technic motorcycle build. Set 42131. Cat D11 Bulldozer. Released in 2021. This 3,854-piece set retails for €500, with used copies averaging €371. Massive 3,854-piece replica of the iconic Cat D11 Bulldozer with app-controlled motors, working blade, rippers, and realistic tracks. The ultimate Technic engineering challenge. Set 42136. John Deere 9620 R4WD tractor. Released in 2022. This 390-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €14. Build the iconic John Deere 9620R tractor with 390 pieces. Features steerable wheels, working suspension, and authentic green design. Perfect for farming and Technic fans alike. Set 42137. Formula E Porsche 99X Electric. Released in 2022. This 422-piece set retails for €49.99, with used copies averaging €24. Build Porsche's sleek 99X electric racer with 422 Technic pieces. Features working steering, detailed suspension and authentic livery. Electric racing, brick-built precision. Set 42138. Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. Released in 2022. This 544-piece set retails for €55, with used copies averaging €19. Designed by Milan Reindl. Build the iconic Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 in Technic detail. Features a detailed engine, opening doors and realistic suspension. Set 42141. McLaren Formula One race car. Released in 2022. This 1,432-piece set retails for €199.99, with used copies averaging €77. Detailed 1,432-piece McLaren F1 replica with authentic aerodynamics, working V6 engine, DRS rear wing, and suspension. A Technic masterpiece for motorsport fans. Set 42,143. Ferrari Daytona SP3. Released in 2022. This 3,778-piece set retails for €449.99, with used copies averaging €0. Iconic Ferrari Daytona SP3 recreated in stunning Technic detail with 3,778 pieces. Features working V12 engine, opening dihedral doors, and authentic bodywork. A collector's masterpiece. Set 42,145. Airbus H-175 rescue helicopter. Released in 2022. This 2001-piece set retails for €209.99, with used copies averaging €132. Build the iconic Airbus H-175 rescue helicopter with 2001 Technic pieces. Features working rotors, realistic mechanics, and authentic detailing. A challenging build for aviation enthusiasts. Set 42,146. Liebherr crawler crane LR13000. Released in 2023. This 2,883-piece set retails for €679.99, with used copies averaging €434. Massive 2,883-piece Technic replica of the iconic Liebherr LR13000 crawler crane. Authentic details, working functions, and impressive scale make this an engineering masterpiece. Set 42,151. Bugatti Bolide. Released in 2023. This 905-piece set retails for €49.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Bugatti's track-only hypercar in 905 Technic pieces. Features aerodynamic bodywork, working suspension, and iconic W16 engine details. Pure speed sculpted in LEGO. Set 42,153. NASCAR Next General Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. Released in 2023. This 672-piece set retails for €49.99, with used copies averaging €25. Build NASCAR's next-gen Camaro ZL1 in authentic Technic detail. 672 pieces capture the race-ready styling, working steering, and iconic number 1 livery of stock car racing's elite. Set 42,154. 2022 Ford GT. Released in 2023. This 1,466-piece set retails for €119.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Ford's iconic 2022 GT supercar in stunning Technic detail. 1,466 pieces recreate authentic styling, working steering and gearbox. A must for Ford fans and car enthusiasts. Set 42,156. Peugeot 9x8 Le Mans hybrid hypercar. Released in 2023. This 1,775-piece set retails for €199.99, with used copies averaging €89. Build Peugeot's radical wingless Le Mans hypercar in 1,775 pieces. Features working suspension, detailed hybrid drivetrain, and authentic racing livery. Speed meets engineering precision. Set 42,157. John Deere 948 liters 2 skidder. Released in 2023. This 1,492-piece set retails for €189.99, with used copies averaging €120. Authentic John Deere 948 liters 2 skidder with 1,492 pieces. Features working crane arm, grapple, winch, and massive tires. A detailed Technic tribute to real forestry machinery. Set 42,158. NASA Mars rover Perseverance. Released in 2023. This 1,132-piece set retails for €94.99, with used copies averaging €0. Recreate NASA's Mars rover Perseverance with 1,132 Technic pieces. Features working suspension, rotating cameras and authentic details. A must for space and engineering fans. Set 42,159. Yamaha Mount 10 SP. Released in 2023. This 1,478-piece set retails for €229.99, with used copies averaging €122. Iconic Yamaha Mount 10 SP Superbike in 1478 Technic pieces. Features working suspension, steering, and a detailed inline-4 engine. A must-build for motorcycle enthusiasts. Set 42160. Audi RSQ e-tron. Released in 2023. This 914-piece set retails for €169.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Audi's rally-proven RSQ e-tron with 914 Technic pieces. Features working suspension, steering, and detailed drivetrain replicating the Dakar Rally electric racer. Set 42161. Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica. Released in 2023. This 806-piece set retails for €52.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica in stunning detail. 806 pieces create authentic styling, working steering and sleek V10 engine. A must for supercar fans. Set 42162. Bugatti Bolide Agile Blue. Released in 2023. This 905-piece set retails for €49.99, with used copies averaging €35. Build the stunning Bugatti Bolide in exclusive Agile Blue. 905 Technic pieces recreate the hypercar's iconic lines, aerodynamic body, and W16 engine details. Set 42165. Mercedes-AMG F1 W14 Pullback. Released in 2024. This 240-piece set retails for €26.99, with used copies averaging €12. Authentic Mercedes-AMG F1 W14 replica with pullback motor action. 240 pieces of Technic detail capture the real racer's sleek design. Race it across any surface. Set 42166. Neum McLaren Extreme E-Team. Released in 2024. This 252-piece set retails for €26.99, with used copies averaging €17. Race off-road in style. Build the Neum McLaren Extreme E electric rally car with 252 Technic pieces, featuring realistic suspension and authentic team livery. Set 42167. Mack LR electric garbage truck. Released in 2024. This 503-piece set retails for €34.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Mack LR electric garbage truck with 503 Technic pieces. Features working functions, authentic details, and eco-friendly electric truck design. Perfect for truck fans. Set 42168. John Deere 9700 forage harvester. Released in 2024. This 559-piece set retails for €42.99, with used copies averaging €24. Build John Deere's iconic 9700 forage harvester in 559 Technic pieces. Features working harvesting drum, steerable wheels, and authentic green detailing. A must for farming enthusiasts. Set 42169. Neum McLaren Formula E Team. Released in 2024. This 452-piece set retails for €52.99, with used copies averaging €17. Build the Neum McLaren Formula E race car in Technic detail. Features authentic racing livery and working aerodynamic elements. Set 42170. Kawasaki Ninja H2R. Released in 2024. This 643-piece set retails for €79.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the legendary Kawasaki Ninja H2R superbike in 643 Technic pieces. Features detailed engine, working steering and authentic supercharged styling. Speed meets precision engineering. Set 42171. Mercedes-AMG F1 W14e Performance. Released in 2024. This 1,642-piece set retails for €219.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic 2023 F1 racer in stunning detail. 1,642 pieces recreate the Mercedes-AMG W14 with working steering, suspension and authentic aerodynamics. Set 42172. McLaren P1. Released in 2024. This 3,893-piece set retails for €449.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic McLaren P1 hybrid hypercar in stunning detail with 3,893 Technic pieces. Features working suspension, V8 engine, aerodynamic bodywork, and authentic McLaren styling. Set 42173. Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute Grey Hypercar. Released in 2024. This 801-piece set retails for €52.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the world's fastest hypercar. 801 Technic pieces recreate the Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute in stunning grey, featuring authentic details and engineering precision. Set 42174. Emirates Team New Zealand AC75 yacht. Released in 2024. This 962-piece set retails for €119.99, with used copies averaging €54. Build the iconic AC75 racing yacht from Emirates Team New Zealand. 962 Technic pieces recreate the foiling sailboat with moving parts and authentic details. Set 42175. Volvo FMX truck and EC230 electric excavator. Released in 2024. This 2,274-piece set retails for €199.99, with used copies averaging €0. Massive 2,274-piece Technic build featuring a licensed Volvo FMX truck and EC230 electric excavator with authentic working functions and mechanical details. Set 42,176. Porsche GT4e Performance Race Car. Released in 2024. This 834-piece set retails for €169.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Porsche's electric GT4 racer with 834 Technic pieces. Features authentic bodywork, working suspension, and detailed drivetrain. A must for EV racing and Porsche fans alike. Set 42,177. Mercedes-Benz G500 Professional Line. Released in 2024. This 2,891-piece set retails for €249.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Mercedes-Benz G500 in stunning detail with 2,891 pieces. Features working suspension, steering, and authentic professional line styling. A Technic masterpiece for off-road fans. Set 42,182. NASA Apollo Lunar Roving Vehicle, LRV. Released in 2024. This 1,913-piece set retails for €219.99, with used copies averaging €0. Recreate NASA's iconic moon buggy with 1,913 Technic pieces. Authentic details, working suspension and steering bring Apollo's legendary lunar explorer to life. Set 42,184. Koenigsegg Jesko Absolute White Hypercar. Released in 2024. This 801-piece set retails for €52.99, with used copies averaging €24. Build Koenigsegg's record-breaking Jesko Absolute in white with 801 Technic pieces. Features authentic aerodynamics, detailed engine, and moving parts. Pure hypercar precision. Set 42,196. Lamborghini Huracan Tecnica Orange. Released in 2024. This 806-piece set retails for €52.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Lamborghini's iconic Huracan Tecnica in striking orange. 806 pieces of Technic precision capture the sleek bodywork, V10 engine detail, and working steering of this supercar legend. Set 42,202. Ducati Panigale V4S motorcycle. Released in 2025. This 1,603-piece set retails for €199.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Ducati Panigale V4S in stunning 1,603-piece Technic detail. Features working suspension, authentic bodywork, and intricate engine, a must for motorcycle and LEGO enthusiasts. Set 42,205. Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Released in 2025. This 732-piece set retails for €59.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Chevrolet Corvette Stingray in 732 Technic pieces. Features authentic details, working suspension, and sleek curves capturing America's legendary sports car perfectly. Set 42,206. Oracle Red Bull Racing RB20 F1 car. Released in 2025. This 1,639-piece set retails for €229.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the 2024 F1 Champion RB20 in stunning Technic detail. 1,639 pieces recreate authentic aerodynamics, suspension, and Red Bull's iconic livery at 18 scale. Set 42,207. Ferrari SF24 F1 car. Released in 2025. This 1,361-piece set retails for €229.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Ferrari's 2025 F1 Challenger in stunning Technic detail. 1,361 pieces capture the SF-24's aerodynamics, suspension, and iconic Scuderia livery with authentic engineering precision. Set 42,208. Aston Martin Valkyrie. Released in 2025. This 707-piece set retails for €59.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Aston Martin Valkyrie hypercar in 707 Technic pieces. Features detailed bodywork, sleek aerodynamics, and authentic design elements from this legendary British racing machine. Set 42,209. Volvo L120 electric wheel loader. Released in 2025. This 973-piece set retails for €99.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Volvo L120 electric wheel loader with 973 pieces. Features realistic articulated steering, moving bucket, and authentic details. The future of sustainable construction in LEGO Tech. Set 42,212. Ferrari FXXK released in 2025. This 897-piece set retails for €59.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Ferrari's track-only hypercar in 897 Technic pieces. The FXXK features authentic aerodynamics, detailed engine, and iconic red styling, a collector's dream racer. Set 42,213. Ford Bronco SUV. Released in 2025. This 943-piece set retails for €59.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Ford Bronco SUV in detailed Technic style. 943 pieces recreate rugged off-road design with authentic features. A must for SUV and 4x4 enthusiasts. Set 42,214. Lamborghini Revuelto. Released in 2025. This 1,135-piece set retails for €179.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Lamborghini's hybrid V12 supercar in stunning detail. 1,135 Technic pieces recreate the Revuelto's iconic angular bodywork, working suspension, and authentic design. No minifigs, pure engineer. Set 42,215. Volvo EC500 hybrid excavator. Released in 2025. This 2,359-piece set retails for €399.99, with used copies averaging €0. Detailed 2,359-piece Technic replica of Volvo's hybrid excavator with realistic boom, bucket, and drivetrain functions. A must for engineering fans and construction enthusiasts. Set 42,217. Chevrolet Corvette Stingray. Released in 2025. This 732-piece set retails for €59.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Chevrolet Corvette Stingray in stunning Technic detail. 732 pieces capture the sleek curves, V8 engine, and authentic styling of America's legendary sports car. Set 42,218. John Deere 1470H wheeled harvester. Released in 2026. This 117-piece set retails for €9.99, with used copies averaging €0. Recreate the iconic John Deere 1470H harvester in LEGO Technic. 117 pieces capture its distinctive green design with working features. Perfect for farming and machinery fans. Set 42,221. NASA Artemis Space Launch System rocket. Released in 2026. This 632-piece set retails for €59.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build NASA's mighty SLS rocket in Technic detail. 632 pieces recreate the real Artemis moon mission launch vehicle with authentic design and impressive scale. Set 42,222. Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. Released in 2026. This 771-piece set retails for €64.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport in 771 pieces. Technic engineering captures the hypercar's sleek aerodynamics, intricate details, and legendary performance in stunning scale. Set 42,223. 1966 Ford GT40 Ki. Released in 2026. This 793-piece set retails for €74.99, with used copies averaging €0. Recreate the legendary 1966 Le Mans winning Ford GT40 Ki in 793 Technic pieces. Detailed engineering meets racing history in this iconic V8 powered classic. Set 42,224. Porsche 911 GT3 or Rexiao Racing. Released in 2026. This 1,313-piece set retails for €139.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Porsche 911 GT3 or Rexiao racing car in 1313 Technic pieces. Detailed replica capturing authentic racing livery, aerodynamics, and engineering precision. Set 42,226. BMW M4 GT3 Evo. Released in 2026. This 747-piece set retails for €64.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic BMW M4 GT3 Evo in 747 Technic pieces. Detailed racing replica with authentic styling, movable parts, and precision engineering for motorsport fans. Set 42,227. Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. Released in 2026. This 723-piece set retails for €64.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Jeep Wrangler Rubicon in 723 Technic pieces. Features rugged off-road details, functional mechanics, and authentic styling, no minifigs needed when the build is the adventure. Set 42,228. McLaren F1 Team MCL 39. Released in 2026. This 1,675-piece set retails for €229.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic McLaren MCL 39 F1 car in stunning Technic detail. 1,675 pieces capture authentic aerodynamics, suspension, and team livery in precise scale replica form. Set 42,232. Koenigsegg Sedair Spear Megacar. Released in 2026. This 4,104-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Epic 4,104-piece Technic Beast. A massive licensed 2026 flagship model packed with intricate mechanical detail, gears, and functions. The ultimate build challenge for serious Technic fans. Set 42,234. Dodge Viper GT SR. Released in 2026. This 805-piece set retails for €64.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Dodge Viper GT SR in 805 Technic pieces. Detailed V10 engine, authentic curves, and race-ready design capture this legendary American supercar perfectly. Set 42,235. Ferrari 488 Pista. Released in 2026. This 882-piece set retails for €64.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Ferrari 488 Pista in 882 Technic pieces. Detailed replica captures the racing car's sleek aerodynamics, powerful engine details, and signature prancing horse design. Set 42,236. Custom Garage Ford GT Mustang. Released in 2026. This 973-piece set retails for €89.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build a detailed Ford GT Mustang in a custom garage setting. 973 Technic pieces bring authentic engineering and iconic American muscle to life. Set 42,239. Batmobile Tumbler. Released in 2026. This 719-piece set retails for €189.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Batmobile Tumbler in Technic detail. 719 pieces recreate Batman's armored tank car with authentic design. No minifigs, just pure engineering excellence. Set 42,240. Aston Martin Aramco AMR 25 F1 car. Released in 2026. This 1,547-piece set retails for €229.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Aston Martin's 2025 F1 racer in stunning detail. 1,547 Technic pieces recreate the iconic AMR 25 with authentic aerodynamics, suspension, and the striking green Aramco livery. Set 42,241. Bugatti Chiron Pure Sport. Released in 2026. This 771-piece set retails for €64.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build Bugatti's track-focused hypercar in 771 Technic pieces. Features authentic aerodynamics, signature W16 engine details, and iconic blue and black livery. Pure speed, pure sport. Set 42,242. Mercedes-Benz Unimog U5023 with crane. Released in 2026. This 1,189-piece set retails for €119.99, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic Mercedes-Benz Unimog U5023 in 1,189 pieces with a working crane. This Technic licensed model captures the legendary off-road utility vehicle in authentic detail. Set 412,401. Wrecking Ball Crane. Released in 2024. This 86-piece set retails for €5, with used copies averaging €0. Swing into action with this 86-piece Technic Wrecking Ball Crane. Features authentic demolition mechanics with a swinging ball. A compact, buildable gift packed with real engineering detail. Set 412,402. Helicopter. Released in 2024. This 56-piece set retails for €3, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 56-piece Technic helicopter with authentic mechanical details. A free magazine gift that packs real engineering charm into a small but satisfying build. Set 412,403. Race car. Released in 2024. This 81-piece set retails for €3, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 81-piece Technic race car with authentic engineering details. A 2024 magazine gift that delivers real building mechanics in a sleek, high-speed package. Set 412,501. Fire truck. Released in 2024. This 80-piece set retails for €3, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 80-piece Technic fire truck pack with mechanical detail. A clever magazine gift showcasing real engineering functions in a small but satisfying build. Set 412,502. Combine harvester. Released in 2025. This 80-piece set retails for €4, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 80-piece Technic combine harvester with functional details. A perfect magazine gift for young builders discovering agricultural machinery. Small but mighty. Set 412,503. Gyrocopter. Released in 2025. This 63-piece set retails for €4, with used copies averaging €0. Compact Technic gyrocopter with 63 pieces. Build a rotating rotor aircraft with authentic mechanical details, a perfect bite-sized engineering challenge from 2025. Set 412,504. Wheeled excavator. Released in 2025. This 65-piece set retails for €4, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 65-piece Technic wheeled excavator with functional arm mechanics. A perfect magazine gift introduction to realistic construction vehicle building. Set 412,505. Space buggy. Released in 2025. This 62-piece set retails for €4, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 62-piece Technic space buggy built for lunar exploration. Features rugged suspension and all-terrain wheels. A free magazine gift perfect for young builders starting their Technic journey. Set 412,506. Off-roader. Released in 2025. This 77-piece set retails for €6, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 77-piece Technic off-roader pack with rugged details. Build a tough 4x4 with suspension and chunky tires, a perfect magazine gift for young builders. Set L002290. Research submarine. Released in 2026. This 70-piece set retails for €5, with used copies averaging €0. Dive deep with this 70-piece Technic submarine. Featuring functional details and mechanical design, it's a compact oceanic explorer perfect for young builders and collectors. Set L002291. Super sports car. Released in 2026. This 79-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 79-piece Technic sports car packed with authentic details. A sleek magazine gift that delivers real engineering in miniature form. Set L002292. Motorcycle. Released in 2026. This 68-piece set retails for €3, with used copies averaging €0. Compact 68-piece Technic motorcycle with authentic mechanical details. A free magazine gift that delivers real engineering in a small, buildable package. Perfect intro to Technic building. Set L002293. Go-kart. Released in 2026. This 67-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Pocket-sized Technic go-kart with authentic racing details. 67 pieces of mechanical building fun, perfect starter model or collectible magazine gift for young builders. Set 8203. Rover Discovery. Released in 1998. This 38-piece set retails for €10, with used copies averaging €2. Compact 38-piece Micro Technic rover packed with Technic detail. This 1998 Mini Marvel captures rugged exploration vehicle engineering in a tiny, buildable form. Set 8204. Sky Flyer 1. Released in 1998. This 41-piece set retails for €8, with used copies averaging €1. Compact 1998 Technic Micro build featuring a sleek Sky Flyer with 41 pieces. Small but mechanically clever, perfect for young builders exploring Technic basics. Set 8208. Custom Cruiser. Released in 1998. This 53-piece set retails for €18, with used copies averaging €17. Compact 1998 Technic Micro build with 53 pieces. Detailed custom cruiser car model pack with classic Technic mechanics in a surprisingly small, satisfying package. Set 8209. Future F1. Released in 1998. This 49-piece set retails for €33, with used copies averaging €3. Tiny but mighty 1998 Technic Micro F1 Racer. 49 pieces build a sleek, futuristic Formula One car with authentic racing details in a compact, displayable model. Set 8217. The Wasp. Released in 1998. This 64-piece set retails for €20, with used copies averaging €3. Tiny but mighty. Build this 64-piece Technic Wasp with articulated legs and wings. A 1998 Micro Technic gem showcasing mechanical detail in miniature form. Set 8218. Trike Tourer. Released in 1998. This 70-piece set retails for €18, with used copies averaging €7. Compact 1998 Technic Trike with 70 pieces. Micro Technic scale captures mechanical detail in a small, buildable 3-wheeled cruiser. Perfect starter for budding engineers. Set 42233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This 0-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This 0-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This 0-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This 0-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This 0-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This 0-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This 0-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This 0-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42,233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This zero-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42,233. Mighty Machines, Series 1, complete. Released in 2026. This zero-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Collect all 6 Mighty Machines in Technic Series 1. Buildable mechanical vehicles packed with authentic details and satisfying engineering for builders of all ages. Set 42,118. Monster Jam Grave Digger. Released in 2021. This 212-piece set retails for €25, with used copies averaging €12. Iconic Monster Jam Grave Digger truck in LEGO Technic. 212 pieces, massive wheels, working suspension and authentic purple/green design. Perfect replica of the legendary Crusher. Set 42,119. Monster Jam Max D. Released in 2021. This 230-piece set retails for €22, with used copies averaging €13. Crush it with Monster Jam Max D. 230 Technic pieces build this iconic truck with suspension, openable hood and pullback motor. Ready to stunt and race, checkered flag emoji. Set 42,134. Monster Jam Megalodon. Released in 2022. This 260-piece set retails for €20, with used copies averaging €11. Crush obstacles with the shark-themed Monster Jam truck. 260 Technic pieces build a pullback motor beast with working suspension and massive wheels. Pure off-road power. Set 42,135. Monster Jam El Toro Loco. Released in 2022. This 247-piece set retails for €23, with used copies averaging €8. Build the iconic El Toro Loco monster truck with 247 Technic pieces. Features pullback motor, massive wheels and authentic bull design. Ready to crush the competition. Set 42,149. Monster Jam Dragon. Released in 2023. This 217-piece set retails for €19.99, with used copies averaging €10. Roar into action with this 217-piece Technic Monster Jam Dragon truck. Features pullback motor, massive wheels and authentic dragon design. Real monster truck fun. Set 42,150. Monster Jam Monster Mutt Dalmatian. Released in 2023. This 244-piece set retails for €19.99, with used copies averaging €9. Build the iconic Monster Jam truck with Dalmatian spots and dog head. Features working suspension, pullback motor and authentic details. 244 pieces of monster truck action. Set 42,199. Monster Jam DI Gatron Pullback. Released in 2025. This 218-piece set retails for €27.99, with used copies averaging €0. Crush the competition with DI Gatron's pullback motor action. This 218-piece Technic Monster Jam truck features authentic monster truck styling and real pullback and go racing fun. Set 42,200. Monster Jam Thunder Roars Pullback. Released in 2025. This 232-piece set retails for €27.99, with used copies averaging €0. Roar into action with this 232-piece pullback Monster Jam truck. Dinosaur-themed design with authentic details, ready to race across any surface. No batteries needed, just pull back and release. Set 42,219. Monster Jam Grave Digger. Released in 2026. This 263-piece set retails for €29.99, with used copies averaging €0. Iconic Monster Jam truck built in LEGO Technic. Recreate Grave Digger's legendary crushing power with 263 pieces, authentic details, and rugged oversized wheels. No minifigs needed, just pure monst. Set 42,220. Monster Jam Sparkle Smash. Released in 2026. This 243-piece set retails for €29.99, with used copies averaging €0. Crush the competition with this 243-piece Monster Jam Technic truck. Detailed suspension, realistic monster wheels, and bold Sparkle Smash livery make this a must-have display piece. Set 66,318. Super Pack 4-in-1. Released in 2009. This 984-piece set retails for €200, with used copies averaging €134. Technic Superpack bundling 4 sets in 1. 984 pieces of gears, axles and mechanical builds for advanced builders seeking maximum engineering value. Set 66,359. Superpack 4 in 1. Released in 2010. This 804-piece set retails for €232, with used copies averaging €123. Build 4 Technic creations with 804 pieces in 1 value pack. Gears, axles and mechanical functions deliver authentic engineering challenges for budding builders. Set 66,397. Technic Superpack 4 in 1. Released in 2011. This 1,272-piece set retails for €213, with used copies averaging €0. 4 Technic sets in 1 epic pack. 1,272 pieces of gears, beams and mechanisms deliver serious building challenges for aspiring engineers. Maximum value, maximum complexity. Set 66,712. Monster Jam Collection. Released in 2022. This 949-piece set retails for €102, with used copies averaging €0. Race-ready Monster Jam trucks built with Technic precision. 949 pieces, 3 iconic vehicles with authentic monster truck details. 0 minifigs, just pure mechanical beast building action. Set 66,784. Neum McLaren Racing Gift Set. Released in 2024. This 704-piece set retails for €70, with used copies averaging €0. Race into action with this 704-piece Neum McLaren bundle. Build 2 iconic Formula E cars with authentic Technic detail, perfect for motorsport fans and collectors alike. Set 66,433. Superpack 3 in 1. Released in 2012. This 1,163-piece set retails for €355, with used copies averaging €91. Triple Technic value. This 2012 Superpack bundles 3 complex mechanical sets into 1, offering 1,163 pieces of gears, axles, and engineering challenges for serious builders. Set 880,001. Competition Racers and Stopwatch. Released in 1998. This 0-piece set retails for €71, with used copies averaging €0. 1998 Technic bundle pairing competition racers with a stopwatch. Track your builds and race times with this unique set combining engineering fun and real-world timing. Set 6,535,735. McLaren P1 logo. Released in 2024. This 178-piece set retails for €43, with used copies averaging €38. Build the iconic McLaren P1 logo in 178 pieces. This 2024 Technic promotional set captures the sleek Supercar brand's emblem with precision brick-built detail. Set 6,535,736. McLaren P1 logo. Released in 2024. This 178-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic McLaren P1 logo in 178 Technic pieces. This 2024 promotional set captures the legendary Supercar brand's emblem with precision brick engineering. Set 6,535,737. McLaren P1 logo. Released in 2024. This 178-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €0. Build the iconic McLaren P1 logo in 178 pieces. This exclusive 2024 Technic promotional set captures the sleek emblem of the legendary hypercar in stunning brick-built detail. Set 1,290. Lava Buggy. Released in 2000. This 35-piece set retails for €9, with used copies averaging €29. Rugged 35-piece Technic Robo Rider built for volcanic terrain. This compact lava-conquering buggy packs futuristic design into a small but mighty buildable machine. Set 1,291. Power Bike. Released in 2000. This 32-piece set retails for €11, with used copies averaging €2. Sleek 32-piece Technic Robo Rider motorcycle from 2000. A compact, buildable sci-fi power bike blending mechanical detail with futuristic design. Small but perfectly formed. Set 1,292. Frost Flyer. Released in 2000. This 33-piece set retails for €9, with used copies averaging €12. Icy Robo Rider built for speed. This 33-piece Technic figure features a frosty warrior design with mechanical precision. Small but packed with futuristic detail. Set 1293. Swampcraft. Released in 2000. This 25-piece set retails for €9, with used copies averaging €13. Robo Rider Swampcraft slithers through murky terrain. This 25-piece Technic build features a biomechanical warrior ready to conquer boggy wastelands. Set 8003. Volcano Climber. Released in 2000. This 35-piece set retails for €75, with used copies averaging €4. Molten World Warrior. This 35-piece Technic Robo Rider rolls through volcanic terrain on rugged wheels, armed for battle in Earth's most extreme environment. Set 8004. Dirt Bike. Released in 2000. This 32-piece set retails for €14, with used copies averaging €3. Robo Rider's Dirt Bike packs futuristic off-road action into 32 pieces. This compact Technic build features a sleek robotic racer ready to tear up any terrain. Set 8005. Ice Explorer. Released in 2000. This 34-piece set retails for €9, with used copies averaging €5. Robotic Ice Warrior from 2000. This 34-piece Technic Robo Rider rolls into frozen terrain with bold Arctic styling and mechanical precision built for adventure. Set 8006. Swampcraft. Released in 2000. This 25-piece set retails for €3, with used copies averaging €4. Compact 25-piece Technic Robo Rider built for murky terrain. This swamp-ready mechanical warrior combines rugged design with buildable robot action. Small but fierce. Set 8509. Swamp. Released in 2000. This 45-piece set retails for €33, with used copies averaging €10. Marsh-dwelling Robo Rider built for murky terrain. 45 Technic pieces assemble this swamp-ready mechanical warrior with rugged wheels and eerie glow-in-the-dark elements. Set 8510. Lava. Released in 2000. This 35-piece set retails for €22, with used copies averaging €6. Robo Rider's Lava, a fierce 35-piece Technic robot warrior built for volcanic terrain. Compact, buildable, and battle-ready with a molten aesthetic. Set 8511. Frost. Released in 2000. This 44-piece set retails for €35, with used copies averaging €9. Icy Warrior of the Robo Riders series. Build this 44-piece armored frost beast with menacing claws and a striking blue design. A cool 2000 Technic collectible. Set 8512. Onyx. Released in 2000. This 37-piece set retails for €47, with used copies averaging €8. Onyx is a sleek, black Robo Rider warrior with 37 Technic pieces. Build this armored robot fighter featuring posable limbs and a menacing dark design from 2000. Set 8513. Dust. Released in 2000. This 46-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €6. Dust is a 46-piece Robo Rider built for desert terrain. This compact Technic figure features rugged armor and mechanical joints, bringing a fearsome robotic warrior to life. Set 8514. Power. Released in 2000. This 32-piece set retails for €23, with used copies averaging €6. Compact Robo Rider warrior built for battle. 32 Technic pieces create a fierce mechanical fighter with rugged wheels and iconic year 2000 robot styling. Set 8515. Robo Rider wheels. Released in 2000. This 4-piece set retails for €4, with used copies averaging €0. Upgrade your Robo Riders with these 4 specialized wheels. Essential 2000 Technic accessories designed for customizing and enhancing your robot warrior's performance and mobility. Set 8516. The Boss. Released in 2000. This 125-piece set retails for €66, with used copies averaging €35. Technic Robo Rider The Boss packs 125 pieces into a menacing mechanical warrior. Build and customize this fearsome robot with working functions and detailed armor. Set 1061. Single Disc Pack. Released in 1999. This 1-piece set retails for €5, with used copies averaging €1. A single throwing disc for the 1999 Technic Slicer battle system. Small but essential, collect and launch against rivals in the iconic disc throwing robot combat game. Set 8500. Torch. Released in 1999. This 33-piece set retails for €17, with used copies averaging €7. Torch is a fire-themed slicer warrior with 33 Technic pieces, featuring disc launching action and a bold red design built for battle in the volcanic fire region. Set 8501. Ski. Released in 1999. This 34-piece set retails for €41, with used copies averaging €10. Slicer Ski is a nimble 1999 Technic disc thrower built for icy terrain. 34 pieces form this compact robotic warrior armed and ready for frozen battles. Set 8502. Turbo. Released in 1999. This 45-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €9. Turbo the Fire Slicer. This 45-piece 1999 Technic disc thrower features a sleek red and yellow build with launching action. Collect all slicers to battle. Set 8503. Scuba. Released in 1999. This 39-piece set retails for €27, with used copies averaging €9. Dive into action with Scuba, the aquatic slicer. This 39-piece Technic disc thrower conquers the deep with sleek water-ready design. Collect all slicers. Set 8504. Jet. Released in 1999. This 44-piece set retails for €41, with used copies averaging €7. Slicer Jet soars as a 44-piece Technic disc throwing robot built for aerial combat. This 1999 classic combines sleek wings with fierce action figure play. Set 8505. Amazon. Released in 1999. This 36-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €9. Jungle Warrior of the 1999 Slicer line. This 36-piece Technic disc thrower brings Amazon's tropical power to life with buildable limbs and launching action. Set 8506. Granite. Released in 1999. This 34-piece set retails for €32, with used copies averaging €7. Rocky Slicer Warrior with spinning disc launching action. This 34-piece 1999 Technic build captures the rugged, stone-themed fighter ready for battle on alien terrain. Set 8507. Electro. Released in 1999. This 37-piece set retails for €37, with used copies averaging €8. Electro is a 1999 Technic slicer with 37 pieces, built for disc launching action. This lightning-themed robot warrior combines sleek design with satisfying throwbot gameplay. Set 8508. Supplementary discs. Released in 1999. This 5-piece set retails for €11, with used copies averaging €2. 5-piece disc expansion pack for 1999 Slicer Technic sets. Arm your robots with extra throwing discs to dominate battles and customize your slicer collection. Set 8520. Millennium Slicer. Released in 2000. This 135-piece set retails for €80, with used copies averaging €42. Disc throwing Millennium Slicer robot from 2000. 135 Technic pieces build this futuristic alien warrior with articulated limbs and launching action. Set 8521. Flare. Released in 2000. This 44-piece set retails for €17, with used copies averaging €11. Flare is a 44-piece Technic slicer disc throwing robot built for fiery combat. Combine with other slicers for epic battles in this 2000 action figure classic. Set 8522. Spark. Released in 2000. This 35-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €15. Spark the Electric Slicer. This 35-piece Technic disc thrower crackles with lightning-themed design, ready to launch projectiles and battle rivals in 2000's action-packed slicer universe. Set 8523. Blaster. Released in 2000. This 88-piece set retails for €52, with used copies averaging €20. Disc launching Slicer Warrior with 88 pieces. Build this agile Technic robot armed with a powerful blaster, ready to fling discs at rivals in the slicer battle universe. Set 42178. Surface Space Loader LT78. Released in 2024. This 435-piece set retails for €34.99, with used copies averaging €14. Rugged space loader with articulated arm, rotating cab and pneumatic functions. 435 pieces of Technic engineering built for lunar surface operations. No minifigs needed. Set 42179. Planet Earth and Moon in Orbit. Released in 2024. This 526-piece set retails for €79.99, with used copies averaging €0. Motorized Earth and Moon orbit model with authentic tilt and rotation. 526 Technic pieces create a stunning solar system display piece with real orbital mechanics. Set 42180. Mars Crew Exploration Rover. Released in 2024. This 1,599-piece set retails for €149.99, with used copies averaging €62. Conquer the Martian terrain with this 1,599-piece Technic rover featuring working suspension, rotating joints, and intricate mechanical details built for interplanetary exploration. Set 42181. VTOL Heavy Cargo Spaceship LT-81. Released in 2024. This 1,365-piece set retails for €99.99, with used copies averaging €53. Massive 1,365-piece Technic spacecraft with VTOL mechanics, movable parts, and realistic cargo functions. A detailed engineering challenge for space and Technic enthusiasts alike. Set 42211. Lunar Outpost Moon Rover. Released in 2025. This 1,082-piece set retails for €99.99, with used copies averaging €0. Conquer lunar terrain with this 1,082-piece Technic Moon Rover. Features realistic suspension, articulated arms, and detailed cockpit, a space engineer's dream build for 2025. Set 8236. Bike Burner. Released in 2000. This 60-piece set retails for €17, with used copies averaging €10. Reverend up with this 60-piece Technic Speed Slammers bike. Pull back and launch this sleek racer across the floor. Compact, fast, and satisfying to build and race. Set 8237. Formula Force. Released in 2000. This 107-piece set retails for €19, with used copies averaging €6. Build a sleek Formula 1 racer with 107 Technic pieces. Features Speed Slammers action for crash and rebuild fun. No minifig needed, just pure racing engineering. Set 8238. Dueling Dragsters. Released in 2000. This 202-piece set retails for €33, with used copies averaging €10. Reverend up 202 Technic pieces into two fierce dragsters built for head-to-head Speed Slammers action. Slam them together and watch them race apart. Set 8240. Slammer Stunt Bike. Released in 2001. This 152-piece set retails for €22, with used copies averaging €8. Reverend up with this 152-piece Technic Stunt Bike. Pullback Speed Slammer action launches it into wild tricks. Detailed mechanical build with working suspension. Pure speed, zero minifigs needed. Set 8241. Battle Cars. Released in 2001. This 115-piece set retails for €16, with used copies averaging €10. Clash of the Speed Slammers. Build two rival Technic battle cars packed with 115 pieces and gear up for head-to-head racing combat. No drivers needed, just pure mechanical mayhem. Set 8242. Slammer Turbo. Released in 2001. This 253-piece set retails for €19, with used copies averaging €10. Reverend up with this 253-piece Technic Speed Slammer. Build a friction-powered turbo racer with working suspension and real speed launching action. Pure mechanical thrills. Set 870. Technical motor, 4.5 volts. Released in 1977. This 22-piece set retails for €61, with used copies averaging €24. Power up your 1977 Technic builds. This 22-piece 4.5 volts motor set brings mechanical creations to life with real electric movement. A rare vintage component for serious collectors. Set 871. Supplementary set. Released in 1977. This 78-piece set retails for €91, with used copies averaging €29. Expand your 1977 Technic builds with 78 essential supplementary pieces, gears, axles, and connectors to unlock new mechanical possibilities. Set 872. 2 gear blocks. Released in 1978. This 77-piece set retails for €42, with used copies averaging €15. Classic 1978 Technic gear set with 77 pieces for building mechanical systems. Perfect for learning gear ratios and adding motorized functionality to your Technic creations. Set 874. Yellow beams with connector pegs. Released in 1979. This 38-piece set retails for €25, with used copies averaging €6. 38 yellow Technic beams and connector pegs from 1979, the essential building blocks for early mechanical creations and sturdy structural frameworks. Set 875. Red beams with connector pegs. Released in 1979. This 38-piece set retails for €37, with used copies averaging €6. Classic 1979 Technic bundle of 38 red beams and connector pegs, the essential building blocks for mechanical creations and sturdy structural frameworks. Set 876. Blue beams with connector pegs. Released in 1979. This 38-piece set retails for €37, with used copies averaging €27. Classic 1979 Technic Essentials 38 blue beams and connector pegs for building sturdy mechanical frameworks. A timeless supplementary set for expanding your Technic creations. Set 877. Steering gear parts. Released in 1979. This 24-piece set retails for €90, with used copies averaging €14. Expand your 1979 Technic builds with 24 essential steering gear parts. A rare supplementary set perfect for adding realistic vehicle mechanics to your creations. Set 878. Piston parts. Released in 1979. This 52-piece set retails for €76, with used copies averaging €14. Expand your 1979 Technic builds with 52 piston parts. This classic supplementary set delivers essential mechanical components for authentic engine and machine creations. Set 879. Gear wheels with chain links. Released in 1979. This 87-piece set retails for €141, with used copies averaging €16. Classic 1979 Technic supplementary set with 87 gear wheels and chain links, perfect for building functional mechanical systems and adding real motion to your Technic creations. Set 880. 12-volt motor. Released in 1979. This 22-piece set retails for €65, with used copies averaging €60. Power up classic Technic builds with this 1979 12-volts motor set. 22 pieces deliver real electric motion to your creations, a groundbreaking addition to early Technic engineering. Set 960. Power pack. Released in 1978. This 22-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €25. Vintage 1978 Technic supplementary pack with 22 essential mechanical pieces to expand your Technic builds with gears, axles, and connectors. Set 961. Parts pack. Released in 1978. This 78-piece set retails for €0, with used copies averaging €14. Expand your 1978 Technic builds with 78 versatile parts. This classic supplementary pack fuels creative engineering with essential components for endless mechanical projects. Set 8700. Power pack. Released in 1982. This 26-piece set retails for €73, with used copies averaging €32. Power your 1982 Technic builds with this 26-piece electrical supplement kit, delivering the battery box and motor connections to bring your mechanical creations to life. Set 8710. Technical elements. Released in 1981. This 124-piece set retails for €41, with used copies averaging €22. 124 technical pieces from 1981, gears, axles, pins and connectors to expand your Technic builds. A classic supplementary kit for serious builders craving more mechanical possibilities. Set 8712. Technic figures. Released in 1988. This 10-piece set retails for €34, with used copies averaging €15. 3 classic 1988 Technic figures in 10 pieces. Posable, buildable characters perfect for adding human scale to any Technic creation. Set 8714. The LEGO Technic Guys. Released in 1993. This 9-piece set retails for €59, with used copies averaging €21. Meet 3 classic LEGO Technic minifigures in this 1993 9-piece set, compact, collectible characters that brought personality to Technic builds. Set 8720. 9 volts motor set. Released in 1990. This 57-piece set retails for €57, with used copies averaging €36. Power up your 1990 Technic builds with this 57-piece 9 volts motor set, the essential electrified upgrade for bringing gears, axles, and mechanisms to life. Set 8735. Motor set, 9 volts. Released in 1997. This 60-piece set retails for €45, with used copies averaging €31. Power up your Technic builds. This 9 volts motor set adds real mechanical motion with 60 pieces including gears, axles, and a working electric motor. Perfect for bringing 1997 creations to life. Set 42,127. The Batman, Batmobile. Released in 2022. This 1,360-piece set retails for €99.99, with used copies averaging €56. Build Batman's iconic movie car with 1,360 Technic pieces. Features intricate mechanical details, moving parts and authentic designs straight from the 2022 film. No minifigs, pure engineering. Set 42,155. The Batman, Batcycle. Released in 2023. This 641-piece set retails for €54.99, with used copies averaging €19. Sleek 641-piece Technic Batcycle from the Batman film. Detailed build with authentic movie design, working suspension, and display-worthy dark aesthetic. No minifigs, pure mechanical artistry. Set 8020. Universal set. Released in 1984. This 119-piece set retails for €37, with used copies averaging €9. Classic 1984 Technic kit with 119 pieces to build endless mechanical creations. A versatile foundation for budding engineers exploring gears, beams, and real-world functions. Set 8022. Multi-model starter set. Released in 1993. This 118-piece set retails for €30, with used copies averaging €8. Build multiple Technic creations with this 118-piece 1993 starter set. Gears, beams and connectors unlock endless mechanical models, perfect introduction to Technic building. Set 8024. Universal set. Released in 1989. This 113-piece set retails for €64, with used copies averaging €12. Classic 1989 Technic set with 113 pieces to build multiple mechanical models. A versatile foundation for budding engineers to explore gears, axles, and real working mechanisms. Set 8030. Universal set. Released in 1982. This 141-piece set retails for €138, with used copies averaging €17. Classic 1982 Technic building set with 141 pieces. Create countless mechanical models with gears, beams and connectors. The ultimate foundation for young engineers to explore endless builds. Set 8032. Multifunctional starter set. Released in 1994. This 215-piece set retails for €48, with used copies averaging €20. Classic 1994 Technic starter set with 215 pieces. Build multiple mechanical models exploring gears, axles and beams. Perfect entry point into LEGO's engineering system. Set 8034. Universal set. Released in 1989. This 187-piece set retails for €92, with used copies averaging €17. Classic 1989 Technic set with 187 pieces for building multiple mechanical models. A versatile engineering playground offering endless creative possibilities for budding builders. Set 8035. Universal set. Released in 1986. This 174-piece set retails for €28, with used copies averaging €10. Build countless Technic creations with this 1986 classic 174-piece universal set. Gears, beams and connectors give endless mechanical building possibilities. Set 8040. Universal set. Released in 1984. This 163-piece set retails for €102, with used copies averaging €19. Classic 1984 Technic set with 163 pieces for building multiple mechanical models. A versatile foundation for gears, beams and functions, pure engineering creativity in one box. Set 8042. Multi-model pneumatic set. Released in 1993. This 230-piece set retails for €102, with used copies averaging €44. Build multiple pneumatic machines with 230 Technic pieces. This 1993 classic lets you explore air-powered mechanics through versatile, interchangeable model designs. Set 8044. Universal pneumatic set. Released in 1989. This 198-piece set retails for €64, with used copies averaging €38. Classic 1989 Technic set with 198 pieces featuring real pneumatic cylinders and valves. Build working air-powered machines and explore mechanical engineering fundamentals. Set 8050. Universal motor set. Released in 1982. This 141-piece set retails for €91, with used copies averaging €43. Power Up 1982 Technic builds. This 141-piece motor set brings mechanisms to life with authentic motorized functions, the ultimate upgrade for classic Technic creations. Set 8054. Universal Motor Set. Released in 1989. This 196-piece set retails for €128, with used copies averaging €38. Power Up 1989 Technic builds. This 196-piece universal motor set adds electric motorized action to your creations, unlocking mechanical movement and endless engineering possibilities. Set 8055. Universal Motor Set. Released in 1986. This 191-piece set retails for €116, with used copies averaging €26. Power up your builds. This 1986 Technic Classic packs 191 pieces with a motor to bring creations to life. The ultimate foundation for mechanized models and engineering experiments. Set 8062. Briefcase Set. Released in 1994. This 403-piece set retails for €190, with used copies averaging €51. Classic 1994 Technic briefcase with 403 pieces for building multiple gear-driven machines. Portable, self-contained engineering workshop perfect for mechanical experimentation anywhere. Set 8064. Universal Motor Set. Released in 1990. This 219-piece set retails for €45, with used copies averaging €38. Power up 219 Technic pieces with a universal motor to build working machines. This 1990 Classic lets you create real mechanical motion in endless configurations. Set 8074. Universal Set with Flex System. Released in 1991. This 313-piece set retails for €120, with used copies averaging €82. Build endless Technic creations with 313 pieces including the flexible tubing system. This 1991 Universal Set lets you engineer cars, cranes and more with true mechanical function. Set 8082. Multi-Model Control Set. Released in 1993. This 459-piece set retails for €333, with used copies averaging €81. 459-piece 1993 Technic powerhouse with motors and controls to build multiple working models. Classic Universal Set offering hands-on engineering with real mechanical functions. Set 8090. Universal Set. Released in 1982. This 266-piece set retails for €239, with used copies averaging €57. Classic 1982 Technic Builders Kit with 266 pieces. Create gears, motors and mechanisms with this versatile universal set, the ultimate foundation for budding engineers. Set 8094. Control Center. Released in 1990. This 546-piece set retails for €449, with used copies averaging €165. Master 1990s Technic engineering with this 546-piece control center. Build working mechanisms, gears and motorized functions in this classic universal set that defined a generation of builders.